The world has been overrun with deviants, creatures of considerable power and destruction, and this is my new home. Welcome to Once Human, an open-world post-apocalyptic free-to-play survival game. I've been challenged by the developers to spend 100 days here, and since they saw my 100 days to 100% challenge videos, they asked me to not just spend 100 days here, they want to see if I am able to capture every single deviation in the new Way of Winter scenario. An incredibly challenging location where it's not just the deviants you have to look out for, the temperature will kill you for simply trying to leave the safety of your home ill-prepared. A home I'll be trying to build up as best I can as a place to store all the deviations. As for today's video, I am joined by Grav, a good friend and my editor. We'll be working together trying to get as far as we can to make use of the multiplayer aspects in this game. We will also have some extra challenges along the way that I'll cover as we get to them, and you can also play the game yourself for free and with friends using my linky link in the description. It's the perfect time too, as in 2025 there are new scenarios coming out, one of which is Code Deviation that would be perfect for all you ARK players who love to collect creatures. Now if you're on mobile, you're in luck, as Once Human is coming soon for you to play. They've even assured me there will be no pay to win mechanics. But for now, thanks Once Human for sponsoring, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Well, this adventure started as I ripped a weird shard out my stomach and burst from a weird containment unit. There was a conveniently placed med pack for me to jab straight into my arm, putting me back up to strength, and there was a memo left on the desk which had today's door code on it. I must be in a Rosetta research facility, as I could tell from the corpse on the floor and writing on the walls. But I didn't want to hang around in case they accused me of causing that corpse, so threw the pin code into the door, unlocking what were the thickest doors I'd ever seen. And on the other side was another corpse, so I stole their keycard and a memo talking about something called the Cradle, which was found near subject A073. I figured out I was actually that subject, and through the door was a floating backpack which gave me some really weird flashbacks or flash forwards of me wearing it. Eventually ending with it on my back and a strange purple crow floating here. Crowmeda, is that you? Unfortunately not. This was V, and he explained I was a metahuman, then offered to help show me the way out. So I guess I was going to follow him, and after walking through the glowy space portal, which seemed like it belonged to the TVA, I found a machete in the weapons crate, so at least I had something to defend myself with. Good timing too, as right outside was my first deviant enemy, a weird spotlight-headed dude. Someone I put down fairly easily. V told me that deviants are created when humans get infected with stardust. Well, whatever they are, they're going to be left to turn into sawdust as I slice through another one and his friend. Here I found something amazing, a Molotov. Perfect for me to kill things with fire. A fun trick I learned in my previous video. I also found a hat in the crate on the other side of the hall, then kept moving along using the TVA portal, following V's flying butterfly trail, collecting some boots, and this weird after image of some lady. When I touched it, it pulled me into some really weird hallway, and there were more of these after images which I just ignored, as behind this door was another deviant. This one had a suitcase for a head that I decapitated, and in the crate beside it, some gloves. What was most interesting though, I could telekinetically pick up the suitcase and shoot wads of money at my enemies. Signs of a true capitalist. But down below was something I really wanted, a butterfly's emissary and my first deviation. So I had to capture it, only for that after image to appear again, and this time I got a vision of some lady with the butterflies. She somehow teleported me out of the Rosetta facility and in front of this plain old suburban house. Inside was the lady, and this was Mitsuko. She knew V the Crow, and she was a metahuman as well and wanted to teach me about securing deviations, pointing out this isolated securement unit in the center of the room, placing the butterfly I'd captured in it, so that was part of our goals for this 100 days. Not only do we have to figure out how to capture every deviation, but we will have to secure them too. Though seeing as I have literally 0 hours in this game, this was going to be a journey of discovery. I then went to have another chat to Mitsuko, only to hear a spine-chilling roar. I grabbed my butterfly from the containment unit and then stole all Mitsuko's supplies she left in the chests around her house. Then made my way outside, and this is where I had to learn how to survival craft things. Being the professional I am, I began to beat into the flora and fauna with my rock, gathering logs, water and gravel. Using all this, I set up a campsite which can act as a mobile respawn point of sorts, as well as a basic crafting station. So using some wood, I made my first ranged weapon, a rustic crossbow. And there are dozens of weapons and armor in this game, like, it's actually really cool. So later on, I'll have to figure out how to build up my best kit for survival. So with crossbow in hand, I ran back to the house where I could see a fight was coming. And activating this beacon started a cutscene where this massive radio-towered Cthulhu-looking siren head burst from the ground. This was going to be a fight.
That's a very big boy.
So I began to fire arrow after arrow till finally the monstrosity was defeated. Investigating where the deviant fell, there was a man, and this was Igna. He is the big bad leader of our story, and he was headed north to the land of Way of Winter. The brand new scenario from Once Human, so things were about to get a whole lot chillier, as of course I decided to follow him and hunt him down. Teleporting into the north only to have it miscalculate and spawn me in the sky. I at least had V's feet to grab onto and begin drifting down into Camp Igloo. And this is where our story truly starts. But before I go anywhere, I knew I had to meet up with Grav, and this is where I let you know. We recorded this entire video on a server, so sometimes the day and night cycle won't necessarily line up, as I was in and out of hospital for brain surgery while recording this. Yeah, I'm not kidding. So I'd really appreciate a sub or a like on the video if you find yourself enjoying it. It's currently 100% off, so completely free. Leaving the safety of Camp Igloo at the start of day 2, I was already getting cold, and you'll see temperature becomes a massive pain for us as we try to progress. I spotted a strange 6-legged bus in the distance. No idea what the hell that thing is, but it definitely looks scary. And it didn't immediately attack me, so I have to assume that's a good thing. But it did just kind of speed away from me before I could figure out what it actually was. However, I was here as Grav was on his way meeting up with me. If you've seen my videos this year, you will have seen some of Grav's work and even some comments of his. We ended up standing around a while trying to set up our team that we named Copperfront, but waiting so long meant our supplies had drained.
Okay, we really need food and water. So I think we got to figure out how we can find food and water first.
My first idea is just shoot a deer in the head.
Okay, where's the deer?
There were plenty around here.
We began to hunt some of the reindeer in the area, sniping them in the head with our crossbows, then skinning them with our knives for some meat and hide. The meat we all need to figure out how to cook, and the hide can be used for armor. But trust me, we're two idiots who take way too long to figure out how anything actually works. So while we began to stumble around, I found this random player's house who left their window open. So being a true South African, I jumped into it to have a look around. I wasn't here to steal anything, but they did have an arcade machine which I began to play, not realizing I was actually spending an incredibly important currency known as StarCroms. And you can actually use this machine to gamble as a chance to win blueprints for weapons, one of which I won was an S-tier automatic shotgun I'll craft later. But seeing as I was out of StarCroms now, we chose to just leave the way we came in.
We got some prizes. I don't know what they do yet, but you know. Okay, we still need to solve our water problem.
I have a solution.
Yeah.
I began to follow Grav to see what his plan was, and he actually paid some attention in the tutorial as he set up a camp. I couldn't use his, so set one up of my own and saw I could boil the dirty water here to have something I could drink. I also made a crude pickaxe so I wouldn't have to beat things with a rock to harvest it, then made use of it harvesting some copper around the area. And it was then we noticed we had at some point gotten some loot crates. Opening mine, I got some tiger pants, a despair emote which I'll probably need a lot, and a cute helmet. I decided to equip both. Now there are quite a lot of cosmetics which I'll switch between throughout the video, so I'll try cover what the armor is underneath when I make it if you want to copy my build. And in order to start progressing, we decided to see what our task was. So if you look in the top left, you can see what our currently tracked task is. So I summoned in V to have a chat with him, and he pretty much told me what I already knew, that this far north was cold. So I needed a way to stay warm, then did that by gathering some stones and logs, and then was about to set up a new campsite when Grav called me over. He had found someone's deviation, a little Digby boy who will automatically gather ores for them. Certainly a useful deviation to have, but I had a task to do. Setting up a new campsite where I crafted a torch and a full set of tier 0 Snowland rustic gear. Wasn't great armor, but should help keep me warm for the moment. So that was all the tasks V had given me. So called him back to chat some more, and he didn't like my idea of just running at Igna to take him out, and he thought I needed allies. Other survivors in the area, marking an outpost on my map 700 meters away that he wanted Grav and I to investigate. So we started running to the marker, needing to do our best Skyrim horse impression to get up the hill, only to find the outpost heavily defended. So I shot my crossbow at the guard, but fortunately it had no effect as these people were friendly. And they let us in and ran up to chat to Masley, and she was a strong leader but seemed to agree Igna was a bad dude and also wanted to take him out. Except she didn't trust us yet. I mean, why would she? So like any good NPC in a game, in order for her to trust us, she gave us a mission first. But before we did her mission, V wanted us to get more equipped, and that involved setting up a base. So Grav and I had a quick chat about where we wanted to build, bringing out our best dad jokes saying how it'd be cool to build in the snow, chilly even, and eventually deciding before we set up anywhere permanently to at least get a temporary base set up.
Well, let's make our way that direction. I've set a pin and then we can pick a spot in person there. It's 800 meters away.
Okay.
It's back the direction we just came from.
Is full damage in this game? I'll find out.
Oh, you got your bird.
How do I deploy my bird?
Jump and press space again.
Oh, okay, well, I just hurt my ankle.
With Grav hobbling behind me, we ran all the way back down to the beach, even using V to glide and gain some extra distance, until we ended up at a relatively flat iceberg. It was here I set up my first territory, and what's great is your entire territory can be moved, as I'll figure out later on. But for now, I had some basic tasks to complete. Unlocking the furnace and disassembly memetics, which are like engrams from Mark, and I had a nutcracker deviation which I'd gotten at some point from one of the season rewards, and Grav ended up donating me some gravel which I needed to set up a furnace. Here, I can smelt my ores into ingots, and it should help me make some better than basic gear eventually. For now, I was just smelting some copper, and I also made a disassembly bench which is used to turn loot you find in the wilderness into basic resources, which I chose to immediately throw into a small storage. And I had a look over to see what Grav was building, and he was going for the classic 2x2 wooden box hut. This area still planned to be temporary as we started to make our way over to Camp Igloo.
Give me all your food! Give me your potatoes!
What a way to make friends. I spotted a weird little crayfish thing called a plankadoom, which I called Grav over to come check out.
Meet Plankadoom.
Oh, Plankadoom is so cute.
But we were here to meet up with some lady named Wendy. She was Masley's sister and in charge of logistics and growing off potatoes. She told me about all of the people I can get tasks from. So it looks like we're going to be kept busy if we wanted to be friends with Camp Igloo. After chatting with Wendy, I headed over to Lo, one of the people Wendy asked me to help, and this guy will give me tasks to capture deviations. He was even kind enough to let out a Digby boy that I was able to capture. Now, every type of deviation has special abilities, but I'll just cover those when I use them. And I then had another chat with Wendy, and she told me about some people who are trapped in a place called Mooseville. Asked us to go see if we could save them. Now, this task in particular, we kinda put it off for a while. So we'll come back to this later, and I accepted one more task from Masley, and she just gave me some more information about the area, but I wanted to head back to my base. And it was here I discovered in this game, you can literally just move your entire base, so you don't have to worry about losing any progress. Grav, meanwhile, was back at his hut, just restocking on some food and water, so I set off to explore a little bit, spotting that weird spider bus again in the distance. This time I fired off a couple shots, but must have missed everyone as it didn't react. Instead, choosing to hit something I wouldn't miss, a stationary rock with my pickaxe, as I had an idea for my base. And usually in these types of games, I'll throw down 2 or 3 foundations and call it a day. But Once Human has some really cool mechanics, so I had an idea on how to make it more interesting for me.
So, Grav, you always make fun of my builds in the videos. Maybe not always, but you have made fun of my building skills before.
Maybe.
So we'll have a build off throughout this 100 days, where at the end of it, we will get the audience and they'll vote in the comments who they think's base is better.
Oh, yes.
So the gauntlet had been thrown down, but the building will come later once we have some good amounts of resources. I did have a lookout with my crossbow, spotting what could be a good spot in the distance, and as we were running up the mountain, we found some more deer, but these ones were level 10 compared to the level 1s we had found earlier. So it looks like we're going to be fighting stronger and stronger enemies throughout this video. Even some boss fights which are absolutely insane. Then at the top of the hill was a somewhat flat spot which I chose to move my territory to, claiming my new location. At least for now anyways, until we unlock the second zone, as the map has 3 distinct areas of increasing difficulty that we will be moving through. With my place set up, I ran over to where Grav was setting up and he actually just had an amazing view. So to at least get a tiny head start on the build challenge, I cut down a couple trees for the wood, using it to set up or at least try to set up a small house. I even unlocked some new memetics to help expand my new home, and I set up a campfire to help warm it. Just hope it doesn't set the wooden walls alight. I even saw the game has a full-on schematic system, so if you're not a fan of building, you can just copy one of their default builds and throw in the resources. We were not going to be doing that. But this is where one of our early struggles started. You see, to unlock memetics, you need cipher points, and I was out of them. So building was halted for the moment, instead focusing on survival, like a stove which I placed down to cook up some meat to eat and end off the day. It was then day 6 when I found the journey screen. This is a massive range of tasks from basic to advanced you can complete for experience and other rewards. It ended up leveling me up, giving me some more memetics I needed to unlock the gear workbench, and one I set up to see what I could craft, only to see I was short of most resources. Thus I flew off with V, heading to the road where I'd seen some broken down cars. A couple of them had loot in them that I pocketed. Whether or not it's useful stuff, I can't tell you that. Then while I was looting, Grav let me know he had died.
I blacked out. Why did I black out?
I headed over to see if I could figure out why exactly Grav had died, only to suddenly start dying myself.
Oh, so much for the hardcore run.
I had no clue why at the time, but what actually happened is we had died to hypothermia. So back at the base, I began to disassemble the bits of loot I'd found into scrap and parts, using them to set up my primary gear workbench. Here I can craft weapons, armor, repair them, and upgrade them through calibrating. I saw there were a couple of weapons I could already craft, and the ones I unlocked playing that Whack-A-Llama game after breaking in. I then had a look at the map as I wanted to fight things, and all around the map was these points of interest. They had different levels, so that must indicate difficulty, and we decided to begin checking some of these locations out. So I met up with Grav by his base, where we leapt off the side of the cliff to begin gliding towards the nearest teleportation tower, only to fly straight past it and realize we had to run back up the hill where we were able to activate the tower. And now, with the power of fast travel, we had another look at the map and saw something called Operation Chiron. So that was our next destination as we fast traveled in.
I see people worshipping something. I have a feeling they're enemy. They have guns. They have like actual weapons.
It's fine, we have crossbows.
Do we shoot?
We can
Wait,
try.
what the is that thing? It's like a centaur deer demon? Grav, this might not be such a good idea.
Well, that is exactly why we're doing it. Anyways, as I fired the first shot to see if I could get it to kill Grav.
They're shooting back. Shoot it from a distance, kill the deer demon.
We started fighting the event, taking out some of the worshippers before they realized what was going on. While fighting, I did realize these enemies were the vultures, members of the clan run by Igna, who we were here to stop in the north. So I focused my fire on the deer demon, managing to send it back to the Shadow Realm. To defeat this event though, we needed to control this pillar of ice, shooting off the vultures as they ran at us. But when the bar filled up, so did the number of enemies.
Kill the entity's clone within 25 seconds. What? Oh, we got a deer thingy.
It's quite a chunky boy.
He is chunky.
We then got gassed and began to run, only to find the deer thingy had vanished. So we saw it as a victory and made our way to the next pillar, using my machete to begin hacking through the enemies. And slicing and dicing, it took us a while to realize we weren't at the right pillar. But it meant we had new vultures to fight.
Oh no.
I see what you mean. They go boom.
The enemies kept coming as we kept putting them down, as a massive swarm charged in and the pyro exploded right on me, knocking me down. I was just glad to have Grav by my side, picking me back up, but more of them were coming.
Holy cow, you've got so many guys on you. I would
no.
run.
Oh no.
I'm coming. Ow! Okay, wait a second. I'm down.
I got adrenaline shot.
I fortunately had that shot, which is basically a self-revive. Where I got it, no idea. But we kept fighting out, completing the second pillar, and this is where we got confused. You see, the bar wasn't visible for some reason on our screens, but we kept fighting. Eventually, somehow the task changed to event level heroic as I got knocked down again.
Then in the time I was down until Grav came to help me up, the other players who showed up somehow completed the entire event. I'll admit, still no clue what was going on, even rewatching the footage to script this. Oh, they did it. Good job, team. I'm glad we were here to carry you. Press Y to view obtain rewards. Okay. Oh, that's a lot of stuff. I don't know what it means, but you know. I got no clue what any of it means, but you know we did it. Yeah. Did I mention we both had never played Once Human coming into this game? I hadn't even watched any videos on it, so we're playing this completely blind. With the event done though, we started our trip home, but realized we should stop and take out some of these basic areas for the loot and experience. They weren't actually zombies, but this place was infested with deviants, so we would have to fight through it. An exploding spider. I thought we'd seen enough of those in Killer with Fire. We kept fighting our way through the deviants, looting the crates we found until the first house was cleared. I was then waiting for Grav, only for him to just jump straight past and glide to the next zone, and the deviants in this area stood no chance as we hacked and slashed our way through them all. Some of the enemies were all really cool as I killed the spider with a large spotlight stuck to it. A spotlight that I could pick up to use as a weapon. Though the battery didn't last long, we finished off the next structure, then was looking at the map to plan the route home, only to realize we could just fast travel to our base in order to get home. And since we had so much stuff we didn't want to lose, we did exactly that, throwing all the loot into the disassembler so we'd have the resources to do some crafting. With all the new resources, I wanted to craft a weapon, making myself a tier 1 of the S tier shotgun I'd unlocked in the Whack-A Llama machine. Boy. We'll show off our weapons to each other. I also made myself a pair of rustic pants. Now, the armor in this game can be made using different materials to change its stats. It takes us way too long to figure this out, so I hope you can learn from our failings. I ran over to Grav to show off my new gun and see what he had been up to. Testing out my shotgun on the nearby deer only to see its damage was pretty bad compared to my crossbow. Could at least deal some fire damage as it has a chance to set enemies ablaze. And Grav had made himself a nice new assault rifle, the Soccer. And with our gear and weapons, the next step was to summon V again and chat about our plans. He basically told me to do what we had already been doing, to help the members of the column like Masley and Wendy, but as we were running around, I got hypothermia again, so I had to hide in my territory, focusing on gearing up. This time unlocking the ammunition cipher so I can start making my own bullets. While waiting on some things to craft, I was just looking through the different options when I found out the ability to summon a vehicle. A motorbike. Now, I'm not sure how or when I unlocked this, but it seems like everyone gets one for free, which would have been super helpful when we've been doing these cross-country runs. Also in the menus, I had a bunch of messages with random rewards and loot. Getting myself a tier 2 M416, the Silent Anabasis. How or why I got these rewards, I wasn't sure at the time, but I was happy to get a new weapon after how disappointing that shotgun's damage was. But Grav was busy in his base, so I used the time to head out for a harvesting spree. I smelted down the ore I gathered into ingots, which I crafted into some bullets for my shotgun. I also found my Digby boy had been working hard. So far he had gathered a ton of ores which I collected. However, I wanted some upgrades. One upgrade I wanted was to make a copper pickaxe. What I could not figure out at the time was why my reindeer and rabbit hide did not count as rawhide. Well, I'll let you know now. It's because you have to unlock the mimetic and craft those hides into rawhide. And it was also now I noticed that M416 I'd gotten, completely unaware how I'd gotten it at the time, but I did see that I wasn't a high enough level to use the gun now anyways, since you had to be level 10. Grav, who already had a rifle, he needed some ammunition. As we were working together to try and save on cipher points for mimetics, I began to craft up just a few bullets to share with him, not realizing how many bullets I was actually crafting, thinking it'd just be a few hundred or so. I think I've got enough ammo. I did not realize I was crafting that much, holy. And with the ammo in hand, we ran over to meet up and begin our next adventure. So I didn't have a rifle, but I will unlock one, so I'll give you half of what I made.
Okay. 2,000 ammo.
I made 4,800. Let's go. That should last us a little while, eh?
Let's see if I can hit the shots.
Yeah, I suppose it does depend how good your aim is.
Feeling ready with bullets and new weapons, we wanted to try and make our way to Mooseville in order to complete the next objectives. But things quickly turned, preventing us from being able to do so. Running along the hills and gliding down with V, only for an ominous message to appear.
Oh lord.
Affected by the chaos with the weather changed to Blizzard 1. What?
Someone just went by on a bike.
Oh yeah. By the way, can you get on?
No.
Okay, hold tab and then select vehicle. There you go.
Well, thanks. You can just go over that.
you really had to.
I am glad I remembered that before we continued running all that way. But running likely would have been safer.
Oh, that's a cliff. Whee! Oh, I hope I have insurance. No.
Oh, that's a bear. Hello.
Wait, bear?
I saw a bear.
Now the main reason I was so curious about seeing a bear is the different resource types I mentioned earlier. Bear's hide is likely to be way more cold resistant than the reindeer we had been using.
I'm losing HP.
Oh yeah, it's cold. It's because it's cold. You're about to die.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I think we gotta figure out, before we could do anything, we need to figure out how we're gonna stop ourselves just dying to the cold the whole time.
I tried to race to get home, but my temperature had dropped too much, and hypothermia was taking over, killing me before I could stop it.
I blacked out. Okay. I do think we need to somehow find some animals that we can hunt other than reindeer for some better fur, for some better skins.
Meeting up with Grav at his box hut, then while waiting for him to sort out his stuff, I just had to lie down on the bed. But he was taking too long, instead choosing to go out for a ride to see if I could find anything interesting. And I did, spotting a large concrete structure on the cliff far ahead of me.
Hey Grav, do you want to meet me up the road? I found somewhere where we can go.
And making our way along the road, looting the crates as we went, we eventually got to what we assumed was the first section of where we wanted to go.
Who are these guys? Are these friend or foe?
You shoot me, I'll shoot you. Well, okay. Well.
That looks like he's shooting you anyway.
The fight was on, taking them down one by one, even the snipers trying to hide in their steel towers.
So, these are Rosetta researchers from what I can tell. And if you remember from the tutorial at the start of the game, we were in a place with a bunch of Rosetta researchers. So, we are in one of the facilities of, you know, the people who had us captured. Or were experimenting on us or something.
With the small outpost cleared, I began to run up the hill to the next facility.
Also, I'm still just using my crossbow. You're using your motorbike, you lazy sod. Just run up the hill, get your cardio training in. Come on.
I didn't work this hard. We'll come here just to run up a hill.
Defeat normal enemies, look for mythical crate. I like the sounds of that. A scenic viewpoint, investigate. Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, I think I found us a cool spot to explore.
Agreed. Now, let's just not die.
There's a dude standing very ominously in the passageway there. Alright. Oh, there's multiple! Ah!
It did not take much for us to break through the guards, even if they were like a much higher level than us, but that's when the weather changed.
The weather changed to snowy. Oh no, are we gonna freeze here again?
We kept fighting our way inside as my body temperature dropped once more. But the damage was done. Hypothermia quickly engrossed us once again as we started to lose health.
Oh, now I'm losing HP. Now I'm dead.
Did you die already?
You're dying too.
Oh, wait. I'm dying. Okay. It's been nice knowing you. Bye.
Hypothermia was starting to get really annoying to deal with. If only we were smart enough to figure out how to combat it. Don't worry, we do. Eventually. I learned the leatherworking mimetic back at my base, so now I finally knew how to make raw hide. You just craft it from the animal hides. I also saw now that to make better armors by simply crafting a higher tier of the armor you want, so I wanted to see if I could make some new armor in hopes it'd keep me a bit safer, but I was short of some resources, so I was out harvesting once again. I made up a full set of the raid armor, but here's the thing. This armor did not have the same cold resist passive that the Snowland Rustic set had. So now the second I tried to leave my base, I was freezing. So I just had to put back on my original armor. And I clearly had no idea what I was doing, but that's okay. We obviously have the long-term goal of capturing every deviation in this scenario, but until we can just survive, we can't work on that goal. But I promise, things get much crazier later on when we start doing some dungeons. I had a chat with V to try and see if I'd find any information, and something I saw was the commission board. This is basically weekly tasks that show up for the course of a scenario where you can complete them for energy link and experience. So I set off to see if I could complete mine, starting with chopping down some trees, while Grav had made a discovery.
I've got a thing called hetium that I'm making. When you have it in your backpack, you gain cold resist and frost resist plus 10. Reverts to thermium after 60 minutes.
Now that is an amazing discovery, as maybe now we won't just die immediately. No promises though. Since I had all the wood from the commission, I used it to set up a second small little house, since one of the commissions was to do some building. But the rest of the day just became a work on commissions for the rewards. On day 11 is when I discovered your cradle has some override upgrades. I chose to assign tactical combo, so my weapon damage is increased by 25% after reloading. While I was then completing my final commission for week 1 to unlock all the new tasks, Grav let me know he had found somewhere for us to go, so jumped on my motorbike to begin heading over to him.
Oh, wow. I don't think that's someone's base. I think that's a explorable point on the map.
Oh, that's the Rift Anchor Wishland.
Well, for what it's worth, I'm now level 13. So we're theoretically ready for this.
Okay, I'm level 9. I'm still busy doing my my tasks.
Oh, come on!
Might take longer than yours.
Well, while Grav was complaining about doing his commissions for the experience, I decided to drive down and take a closer look.
Oh, yeah, this is a settlement exploration. I've got another thing here. Defeat normal enemies, look for the mythical crate, find weapons and armor crate, and activate the rift anchor. There's deviants here.
I'm going.
Yeah, I could convince you.
With Grav on his way, I began to fire at the deviants with my crossbow, then scampered around to find a way in, spotting some huge bears.
Oh, corrupted bear.
Kill it?
Slightly more than just it. Oh, they are tanky.
Grav eventually caught up with me so that we could start trying to take out these bears, but I wanted to use my shotgun, dropping slowly down the cliff to get closer and open fire. There are also corrupted wolves who I started to take out.
I'm not gonna have enough ammo for this.
I am.
Well, that's because I'd forgotten about that rifle I'd gotten, but I'll realize soon. With the wolves taken out, I dropped down to see if I could start collecting the loot, skinning one of the wolves for their hide.
Oh, you can get wolf skin from these. We can actually make some better armor. And the bear. So we probably get bear hide from the bears.
I ended up firing my last arrow, causing me to switch to my machete as I lunged forwards into the pit. Thankfully, everything nearby was already dead, freeing me to skin the corpses.
Oh, there's a bear meat. Oh, from the wolves I was getting beast meat. Did you find a bear?
Yes.
That's a big bear. Oh, that one's tankier than the other one we fought. That's a lot of stuff. I got a weapon. I got the SN sniper rifle. Oh, hey, I forgot I'm past level 10 now, so I can use my assault rifle. Cool, I'm not going to run out of ammo anymore. I've got 2,000 bullets.
As much as 2,000 rounds seems like now, I can promise you that won't be enough for some of the stronger bosses we fight later in this video. But this rifle was actually really cool, and not just because when you shoot it has a chance to spawn ice crystals, which really confused me at first. But we wanted to keep moving, so we began to climb up some cages.
Do you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, what the flip is that? Grav?
I'm coming. Where are you?
Over here. I'm right next to you. Do you see it? It's a claw machine. Oh, I'm taking so much damage. Oh no. No, dying today.
Where's the headshots on this thing?
Does it even have a head?
We finally put the claw machine out of commission, definitely one of the stronger deviants we have fought so far. But we kept fighting our way through Wishland, actively searching for the rest of the objectives, only to hear some terrible news from Grav.
Oh, I shot an otter. I feel really bad.
You monster! How could you shoot an otter? You're gonna get hate comments for that one.
Didn't mean to.
Did it give otter meat at least?
No, it was in the water.
Oh, so you didn't even harvest it, you just wasted it. Did you grab the scenic viewpoint here?
So with Grav potentially getting cancelled in his first video appearance, we decided to keep fighting our way down, firing some of the employees trying to stop us.
What's that? Crocodile!
It's dead is what it is.
Eventually we made it up the stairs on the other side of the building where we came up on our first rift anchor. We were nervous. We didn't know what to expect when we activated this thing, so chose to finish exploring before activating it, jumping into the roller coaster.
Whee!
And after a fun ride to the other station, Grav's ride caught up to me fairly quickly, so we kept up our slaughter, and then Grav found a rather strange enemy.
Oh, hello, what are you?
I had to search around till I found Grav and his foe.
Oh! Okay, I found it. Pop the balloons!
Oh, my word, don't get hit by the balloons.
Hundreds of bullets were fired at the balloon mass, and even a couple grenades.
Yeet! Screw grenade.
Oh, that did lots of damage.
But then one final mag popped the balloon.
Hey, we did it.
And with it dead, we made our way up the stairs to claim the mystical crate atop the building for some long axe frags. Now this is one way to unlock new weapons and armors in this game, by collecting fragments from mystical crates and other means. You can then fuse the fragments to the item in your blueprint screen to unlock it to be crafted at the relevant stations. It took some time to make our way back to the rift anchor, though Grav had some issues.
There's a whole bunch of things here, just hang on. Oh, my word, I'm dead. Help!
Hi, that's good. Okay, cool. Let's go do this mystical anchor. This rift anchor, sorry. It sounds ominous. I have a feeling we go fight a boss. That is my guess. Activate rift anchor. Well, that was anticlimactic.
So there is something more to this rift anchor, but it will take us a while to figure out, and there is a boss fight once we do.
Oh, the claw machine's back.
I don't have enough ammo for this.
Remember how we said 2,000 bullets would be plenty? Yeah, that's quite clearly not the case. I then wanted to go claim my loot from the claw machine, only to miss my jump and land in the water.
There's a capybara! Oh,
That's what I shot.
Oh, you get even more hate now if you shot the capybara.
Oh, I'm about to die. No ways.
Same. Yeah, I'm dead. I died to the cold.
No! Waking up back in my base, I saw a pest on my roof.
Oh, there's a reindeer on my house. There is no longer a reindeer on my house.
And I hopped on my bike to begin following Grav back to Wishland when he decided to stop in the road.
Meow.
Oh, wow.
You need to stop.
Road.
You stopped. You cut in front of me. Well, no, there's a clip there.
I really hope my car insurance agency doesn't watch this video, else I could see my expenses going up. We got back into Wishland, grabbing some loot and continuing to explore.
Oh, there's flamingos. Hello, flamingo. Do you give any loot? You get feathers, okay.
A resource that will become incredibly vital later on, once we realize how useful feathers actually are. What was also in the flamingo area was the final gear crate we needed to complete the settlement exploration. A task we could not have completed fast enough as we began to make our escape while the cold started to envelop us, eventually taking our lives before we could get home.
So what is that, like cold 7, us 0?
We were having a rough time with the weather, that's for sure. And while I was then driving around doing nothing useful aside from dying to the cold again, Grav had found a balloon and asked me to come over. So I jumped off the cliff to make my way there.
Cool. I am making my way, gliding on V to you. I see the balloon.
Yeah, so shoot the balloon a couple times, it moves.
Oh.
And then you get loot from it. So it's like a little... It's a very basic little puzzle thing.
With my prize, I decided to head home, making sure to drive very carefully as for some reason, my motorbike was pretty low on health. Once I got home, I made myself an upgrade in the form of a bronze pickaxe to help with all the resource grind I'll be doing. And in the morning, knowing how damaged my bike was, built myself a garage in that small structure I'd made early on. Here I can upgrade vehicles, repair them, and later on even build some cool new ones. Since I thought the vehicles were really cool, I want to try and build every single vehicle in the game, on top of trying to capture every deviation. But before we could progress, we really had to do something about this damn hypothermia.
So I think what we need to do, we go back to that happy fun town, and we just kill a bunch of the bears for their hide.
Thus, it was back to Wishland, where by the time we even made it to the bear arena, we were dying to hypothermia. Again. And then, we remembered Grav's discovery early on, but I needed wood to craft it. Well, not wood per se, but charcoal. So set up a second forge to double my smelting speeds, then crafted myself a thermium, which I made with charcoal, into a hetium. This one small stone will increase your cold resist by 10, a much needed amount when you're dealing with these negative temperatures. I sniped another deer off my roof, then went for another absolutely massive wood harvesting spree. And I used some of that wood for even more charcoal to begin smelting down steel ingots. With how much I was planning to smelt, I set up even more furnaces to truly ramp up production. I also threw some wood in the fireplace to try warm up the area. It also happened to be one of this week's commissions, and I set up a bed as these are useful to help you regain your sanity if it ever drops. But with all that out of the way, Grav and I finally wanted to try to head to Mooseville and hopped on our bikes. Except Grav hadn't yet made a garage to repair his bike, so he was setting off with it already on low durability.
So if my bike breaks down, I can't use it.
You should have made a garage.
I can't go off-road.
Huh?
I can't go off-road.
He's so scared. Just don't crash. You'll be fine. I mean, I can go in front of you like, and then I'll let you know if I fly off a cliff.
I mean, who could have seen that coming? Clearly not Grav. He decided to fast travel home to repair his bike, while I continued on to head to Mooseville, except I never got there either, as I found this really cool donut town that was another settlement exploration.
Well, I found a little, like, outpost thing where there's another one of those, like, look for mystical crates again. So while I wait for you, I'll just start killing things.
So sniper in hand, which I'd gotten from that bear crate back in Wishland. And looting all the crates as I went, I found a Northern Extraction access card. Now, I only figure out how to use this much later on, but I'll save you the time. You can use these cards at production facilities around the map, and it will start a wave-based survival against many deviants. Doing this will net you a whole range of loot depending on the card, so they're pretty valuable.
I was reading just like on the minimap, it seems like the rift anchors, if we like unlock enough of them, will unlock access to a location.
Now, while that is close to the answer, it's not exactly right. There are multiple rift anchors around the 3 areas of Way of Winter, but each area also has a boss which requires you to activate the rift anchors in order to fight. A fight we will do and likely fail at later in the video, and while I kept soloing this entire area, Grav had repaired his bike and was on his way over to me only to get distracted by the Chaos Weaver announcement popping up. His curiosity got the better of him as he began to search for it to see what it was.
Oh lord. Oh lord. I found it.
Oh
lord. This thing is huge.
Not knowing what the heck Grav was talking about, we decided it was best he come over to me first to get this exploration finished. And then we'd go check out the Chaos Weaver. Bullets were fired and chests were looted. Even some awesome new enemies were fought. Till at some point, we found a door, only for it to be blocked by a giant pile of ice. Our bullets had no effect, so I decided to have a crazy thought.
You know what? Fire versus ice. Does this do anything? Yay, it worked!
Turns out chronically looting and hoarding every single item for when you possibly might need it was a good thing. Then we found the mystical crate at the bottom of the ice cellar to complete the final objective. Then we're on our way out as we died once again to hypothermia since the hetium rock had expired. Yeah, I forgot to mention they have a timer. At least we got sent home where I was able to repair my equipment except for my sniper rifle. You see, the weapons and armor which you get as a drop from crates or enemies are considered dropped gear. So you can use them and upgrade them, but you cannot repair them. At least my armor was protected, but now though Grav still wanted to show me that Chaos Weaver, and I thought how big could it really be as we rode off to find it once again.
So I will say I shot at it a couple of times.
Yeah.
And my bullets were doing 1 damage. Each.
Oh. Okay.
It's level 30.
Where the heck are you taking me? Oh.
Right here.
Okay. Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, holy crap.
Well, yeah. I think this takes a cake for the largest enemy I've ever seen in a game. It was insane. But our bullets felt like they were having zero effect as ones just scattered across the Chaos Weaver until eventually we froze from its attacks.
I'm frozen. I died. I mean, I'm gonna be honest here. I don't think we can kill that thing.
Really cool though.
That thing is awesome. So it was like very ice. I wonder if we need to find get some, because I know this game has like elemental damage and stuff. I wonder if we maybe need like fire damage.
Now, at the time of writing this, I still don't fully know if my assumptions were correct, so you'll have to just keep watching till later in the video when we try to take it on again to be able to kill it. I set up a second deviation containment unit, as don't forget, our main goal is still to try capture every deviation, or at least as many as we can in 100 days. So far, I had 3. With a total of 36 unique ones in the Way of Winter scenario, I could only hope to start running into more soon to capture them. But the thing about deviations, they each have unique wants in order to improve their power and mood recovery. For my butterfly, it needed a green light and some crops. Except I was too dumb to figure out the crop system right now. Instead, choosing to work on some more journey tasks like making a fishing rod, searching for corn even at the cost of launching off a cliff on my motorbike. Twice? Yeah, my insurance definitely should not watch this video. And I arrived back at Camp Igloo in the morning of day 16. Now, I said I wanted corn. That's simply so I could make fish bait as part of my journey missions. I instead found another Digby boy that I captured, then had a chat with Lo again, who gave me some more deviation capture missions that I can complete as I come across them. But I was here for corn, checking out some of the shops and even had my cursor on the corn seeds, but it wasn't until later when the footage was rewatched that we saw I had missed the corn seeds. As I was then driving home, I somehow ended up inside of this weird mist zone which really confused me as I tried to deploy my bike but couldn't. That's when I turned and saw a pink beam of light, so naturally my moth-like tendencies walked over to it.
Be on your guard. Eliminate all deviants in the fog. I picked up a minigun. Oh, those are big spiders coming at me.
I had to open fire on the hordes of arachnids now set on killing me, getting through the stage as quickly as the final one started.
Holy shit, oh, these things are massive. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no.
Before Grav could even get to me, I'd finished off the spiders, leaving a loot crate in the place of the pink beacon. The most notable reward from it was a brand new deviation, a mini feaster. One of the combat deviations, and this little guy is someone I plan to use, throwing him into the containment unit at my base and even gave him his preferred light color and radio for some tunes. With him happy and synchronized to me, I headed over to Grav where I deployed the little mini feaster.
This little guy.
What the hell? What does it do?
He'll like fight alongside me, I think.
That is super cool.
Having watched the previous couple days footage, I saw I had missed the corn seeds, so I headed out again, dying to hypothermia again.
Blacked out. Like, I hate this hypothermia. Like, it's starting to get so annoying.
Clearly, the mental strain of trying to stay warm in a video game was beginning to get to me, but no giving up now. So raced off to go get those seeds.
Oh, that's a bigger cliff than I expected. I'm alive. Okay. Oh, that worked out.
I can only be glad I was already wearing brown pants, or that could have been awkward. I did make it to Camp Igloo where I was able to buy the corn seeds I wanted from Scylla, and on my way home I did take out a bear. I mean, eventually we'll figure it out and actually use the hide to make some new armor. I did also, accidentally, run over a bunny when I was trying to leave to get over to Grav's place. Since we wanted to try and share the duties to save on cipher points, Grav was going to be doing the gardening, so I planted my corn seeds.
Oh, it looks like they don't have much light. Okay. How do we give them more light? Quick, someone turn up the sun.
While here at Grav's, I did admire his deviations he had set up, as remember, at the end of the video, whoever's base looks better will be decided by you in the comments. We'll even enforce a forfeit that will get shown off in a future video. For now though, we needed a plan.
The problem with us going to Mooseville, we keep dying to the cold. So I think before we do that, we need to get better armor, which means we need to unlock the intermediate gear workbench. So up the mountain, I see there is a Tundra monolith. That has the image for the refined parts as one of the rewards. So I say we head up there and try to complete that.
With a plan in mind, I refueled my bike to be ready to leave, and while Grav found we had gotten a gift for updating, opening it gave us a choice of some deviations, and I went with the Fetch-A-Lot Dark Bunny. Very nice, and helps us towards that goal of 100% capturing. It was a short drive over to the silo where there was someone called T-Man that we met outside. He was kind of like a bounty hunter, headhunter, and hired us to take out a deviant which had murdered someone. He told us what deviant it was, the claw machine, but we didn't read that part, so we were going in blind.
Oh, that's a claw machine.
Oh shit.
Oh fuck.
Having failed due to lack of supplies and not understanding that red means stop and green means go, I got home where I repaired most of my armor, as well as tried to mass craft any and everything that will help in the dungeon. Gummies, food, ammo, and medkits. Also had to do a trip down to the ocean for water, but I didn't understand I needed dirty water instead. So for that, I had to build up a foundation where I set up my new rain collection system. At some point, I'd even gotten some fireproof plastic. A resource we had been desperately needing in order to advance, as I used it to craft intermediate workbenches, the mid-tier stations for weapons, armor, and supplies. But if I wanted to make any of the tier 3 armor, I was going to need a lot of fireproof plastic. I could, though, make a single piece, and that was the tier 3 chest piece. It should help just that little bit. And while I was doing all this, Grav ended up discovering you could make higher tiers of bullets. So after I set up 7,000 copper rifle ammo to begin crafting, I went through my memetics to unlock the second ammunition knowledge. And with this new power, I got some gunpowder from Grav and set up 5,000 steel bullets to craft. Maybe now we could survive that silo. I mean, it's the first one. This is meant to be easy. And entering the dungeon, once again, we wasted no time massacring our way through all of the guards, down the elevator and back to the main research room. And deeper into the Rosetta labs we went, just speedrunning past, taking out the guards along the way until I was back through the TVS portal. And we were still fully under the impression that we just had to not be in line of sight when the light turned red, and I did make the mistake of setting Grav ablaze with the Molotov. I mean, I was genuinely trying to throw it past him, but the aiming moved. Oh, I'm sorry, Grav. And then at the end, we got through the final portal to face off once again versus the Claw Machine.
Hi, Claw Machine. Die, you bastard.
Why can't I go in?
Hi, Teddy. I am down. The Teddy blew up next to me.
We fought and fought and fought, doing our absolute best to fill this claw machine with lead, but it was rough. The red light mechanic was not our friend, and we took way too long to figure it out.
Come on. So close.
We're gonna get it this one. You got it. There we go.
I just dived inside the circle just before it went red so that I could just finish it off to try. Oh,
Jeez.
what an incredible relief. I headed over to the loot chest getting some mods and a Buzzy Bee deviation, and I also captured a Hydronaut fish, the biggest gain towards our goal so far. Completing the dungeon revealing the stats of it showed yours truly had the highest total damage share. Not too shabby if I do say so myself, though I'm not too sure what Grav was trying to melee in there. We had to talk with T-Man on our way out to let him know the task was done. The dungeon was clear, but we can come back here later to not only run it again, but to run the dungeons on increasing difficulties as well. Something I only learned after chatting to crowmeda. At home to relax, I simply spent some time beating my frustration into some trees. I was going to need the wood eventually anyway.
okay. 5,000 wood gathered. That should last me at least 2 seconds. Cool, I'm out of wood. I just used it all to just make charcoal.
Maybe later on I can find a deviation to gather wood for me. And with the dungeon done, we did want to finally head to Mooseville. So I made up a new heatium to keep myself warm, then jumped on my bike to begin the long drive.
To Mooseville, finally.
This time, not even ramping off the highest of cliffs was going to stop us. Eventually getting all the way there and began the walk-in.
Oh, this is gonna be a piece of cake compared to that dungeon. What is that? Whoa, what is that in the sky? Oh, that's a big boy. Grab, big boy, big boy, big boy,
Oh,
big boy.
hello.
Shoot his legs. He's got weak spots on his legs. He's down. Oh, there's another one. It's a smaller one.
With the two gluttons taken down, another new enemy who took out was some security guard with a weird door. But as I tried to walk through the door, it disappeared. I collected the weapons crate on the school bus. Also made sure to pick up all the loot dropped from the enemies.
Nat,
Yo.
look at the cake.
Yeah, at the top there.
Yeah.
All right, time to go climb this cake.
We got to the top pretty easily to claim a mystical crate left as a topper, even being rewarded with Grav spotting something else.
That looks really cool.
Oh, it disappeared.
This was a little puzzle chest. We simply had to follow the new purple splotches, revealing another mystical crate. There was a new scenic viewpoint here to grab, but Grav had some issues trying to get to it.
I did.
Jump better.
Come on.
Come on, shorty, you can do it. Jump and grab the ledge. There you go.
Grav finally got up as I spotted the glutton from earlier respawning in the sky. So I jumped on V to get closer so I could pump its legs full of lead.
Yeah. Fall over, you big doofus. Oh my god, this guy's caked up.
And with our pockets now pretty successfully full of loot, we continued on to find the convoy. On top of a building, we met a guy named Hot Dog, and he asked us to wait inside on the chair where he came down and explained to me that they were trapped here by the vultures. So as per usual, it was up to us to defend them. I did first ensure I stole their loot from the boxes, then turned to take out the couple of soldiers trying to take us down.
Like, we'd killed massive deviants. These vultures were nothing. Thus, victory was achieved. Hot Dog was, of course, thankful to us for saving them, giving some basic rewards. And finally, we completed the Mooseville task we had put off for so long. And with the time we had spent saving Hot Dog, however, the glutton was back trying to respawn again, so we simply could not allow that. Grav found the rift anchor for the zone, so I came over to help finish off the final few enemies and complete the objectives of Mooseville. That was the third of 4 rifts we had to complete before we could unlock the boss, so we were making good progress. Even if the second a chilled breeze comes through, we're likely to die. So before a breeze did, I traveled home where I made sure to repair my motorbike, as Grav and I were planning to fight our way up to the boss zone, as there was the final rift anchor we needed. Meeting up with Grav by his base, we set off up the mountain, even heading past the Rosetta lab we tried and failed to do after dying to hypothermia. But we had other objectives, as we chose to just ignore and race past the guards until we got higher up where there are even more guards that we took out with lethal efficiency, and we wanted to keep ascending, except
You're dying. Bye.
so hypothermia strikes again. Something you have to be aware of constantly. I knew I had to try and help. So after heading back to base to try and stop Grav from dying to the cold, I decided to cook him up some salty roasted spike tomatoes. Maybe now he'll be able to stay warm and toasty. Dropping off the meals by Grav like I was HelloFresh, we once again jumped on our bikes to begin the drive back up, following Grav through the sketchiest of shortcuts till we got to the first outpost. Enemies fell and boxes opened, and Grav even found another gear crate for us to loot. So with nothing else we kept onwards, but I noticed a path.
What's up here?
Don't stop like that in front of me.
We definitely had to explore the secret tunnel as we ran up the wooden platforms. And I get it, we're constantly distracted by different things while busy with the main objective, but hey, that's the fun part of open world games. And the path opened up to a wide open cavern, and Grav wanted to stick to the road, so I chose to just jump and Grav had to just follow me in.
I don't know where we're going.
We are looking for the Tundra monolith. Loot crate. See, already worth it. A single gunpowder.
It was down here though we ended up finding the final rift anchor we needed. Now we just had to find this boss. So I decided to head deeper as I dropped off another cliff. And it was down here at the very bottom of what we figured out was a mine. There were these super cold rocks which hurt if you got too close, exploded if you shot at them, and the shards could be launched dealing damage. There was also some aluminum nodes here I began to mine, except Grav early on decided to not make a steel pickaxe, so that just meant I was stuck mining it, but decided I'd rather come back later. There was also a gold ore here, but my pickaxe was not able to mine it, and we still wanted to find the Tundra monolith however, so it was when I looked up and saw the map marker was way above us. I realized we were in the wrong spot, so I was back up the zip lines ascending higher and higher when we spotted a siren from a vantage point. While clearly we can't leave it there to cause chaos, gliding down to where I opened fire, it went down like any old other deviant. So we took the chance to finish clearing out the final few deviants and loot all of the crates, even finding a weird lightning orb deviation. And while we were fighting these deviants though, we found some of them have a cool mechanic, where if they're about to die, they freeze up and heal. So we decided we needed to just get out of here. Using my bike to escape quickly ramping up the spine to ascend, I did find a ton of loot in this one room and I got Grav to come over and loot it as well, but we needed to just keep going up to get out of here.
Professional mountain biker here. Ride the spine.
Almost went off. And once at the top we took the final zip line up. Now we could keep heading towards the monolith. There were more guards here that we began to fight through. I took the zipline to the next outpost and spotted the mystical crate. Grav's food buff had run out, causing him to freeze and die, so I glided down to collect the mystical crate. As if Grav had just frozen, I was about to as well once my hetium expires. Best option is to simply fast travel home, where I set up some extra storage to dump off all of the loot I'd been accumulating, then ran to collect some more spike tomatoes that I could cook up in order to stay warm. And it was then day 25, when we finally started the journey once again back towards the monolith. Only to be halted by the lack of charcoal we needed to make new hetium rocks. But we sorted that out soon enough, then made the way back up the mountain, taking a quick pit stop where the mystical crate was. And now we were going to take out the enemies here, but with how often we got distracted, we chose to abandon the fight and instead continue up to the monolith. Ooh, weapon crate. Up.
got to the monolith, activated the teleporter outside. Only a few guards now stood between us and the fight we so wanted.
Turns out snipers aren't too strong if you get close.
We also made sure to loot any medkits we found as we were going to need them, then entered a massive structure that must be housing the monolith, a large red glowing mystical portal. There were some rooms in here for gear repair and more, a rather convenient addition by the Rosetta team for us. We also realized this was the same facility we were contained in at the start of the game. Turns out we were a boss all along, though I suppose the many bodies we had left getting here could probably have proved that. So with that, we placed our hands on the portal and entered the fight against the secret servitor. We eventually managed to fire the final few bullets to take down the servitor, netting us a couple of upgrades and even a snapshot deviation. The victory screen showed Grav was the speed demon for his longest distance running, and me with trump card for the highest total damage. Not too shabby if I do say so myself. Now just to head home.
Sniper!
Kills giant scary boss, no problem. Small man with a gun gets nervous. Our next plan, however, was to head back to Camp Igloo and chat to Wendy again. There was a Chaos Weaver checked out as I glided past, definitely a problem for much later in the video. And I got to the camp and found we had both just missed a teleportation tower here.
Also, there is a teleportation tower here, which we both just never activated.
Ooh, it's another one.
Find the Chaos Weaver.
No, another cliff.
I don't think Grav's insurance should have watched this video either. I then started chatting to Wendy and she told me how the vultures are planning an assault on us from Fort Obsidian. So of course it was up to us to gather information and put a stop to it. It took some time as we had to travel 3.5 kilometers, making sure to stop and claim the teleporter when the server lag chose to yeet Grav's bike like a rocket and destroy it. So Grav now had to run along on foot, following me as I rolled up the hill, till we got to the town outside Fort Obsidian, except there was no one here. It was almost desolate. We started to explore to see who we could find, making use of the snap radar to see what loot was around. That's when I noticed some weird butterflies and followed them. They led me to Micah. He was a fanatic cultist for the vultures, looking to recruit people. So I told him everything he wanted to hear, and in exchange he invited me to the team and told me where I could find the entrance to Fort Obsidian. Does this mean Igna would now technically be my boss? Choosing not to think much more on that, we decided to go find this entrance, which turned out to be a huge cave. Not so secret, but then as we entered the cave, it was again absolutely abandoned. You see, there was another player here. Someone just smashing through the same area as us, freeing us to take advantage of the lack of enemies to collect every crate around. But with no sign of enemies, there was also no signs of Igna here. So we went higher to look for the upper floors as our path got stopped.
The column sent you to kill Igna, didn't they?
Oh, hi.
This big oaf of an underboss would not stop yapping as I filled him with lead to take him out. Even getting to watch Grav fight his invisible enemy too, since it was an instance. Igna clearly had left, but he had left behind an after image discussing plans with the underboss we just took out. They were planning a siege on the column members, so I scoped out the place with the scenic viewpoint as we were going to place explosives in an attempt to stop the siege from ever happening. We first wanted to complete all the tasks though, and since that other player had been here, we were short on enemies. We did find a secret mystical crate, but it was not the mystical crate we needed. We finished off the enemies and searched till we found the mythical crate to complete the settlement exploration, and now we could blow the place sky high. So we went to each of the 3 designated spots, setting up the bombs.
Alright, let's get out of here, Grav. Gotta go. She's gonna blow.
Oh.
Nope, that was...
It's like a little pew.
Pew!
And with the biggest ever explosions destroying the base, I hopped on my motorbike, leaving Grav behind to walk since he had blown up his bike earlier. It fortunately was not too far to get to the fast teleportation tower and arrive at Camp Igloo. Wendy was inside waiting for us as usual and let her know all about the destruction of Fort Obsidian. She was at least thankful, though said I should now just continue trying to help out other members of the column. I had another chat with Lo, the guy who handles all of the deviation quests, and he told me about some more deviations I could do if I was in the area, but Grav and I had bigger and better plans. We did some prep work at the base, like making up some more hetium, our favorite hot rocks, and then it was us back on our bikes as we were going to travel all the way to Whalebone in the Vina Fjord region. This was it. Our first foray into the second zone, and we immediately took out some guards trying to stop us advancing as we wanted to see if they dropped fireproof plastic. A resource we had been desperately trying to find in order to upgrade our equipment, but we wouldn't figure that out until later, so kept moving for now.
Hey, it's Golden Gate Bridge.
Grav was already starting to freeze in this zone, so we made a pit stop to let him munch some food, but the cold was becoming a problem. We had to race along the road to try and get to Whalebone before the temps took hold of us and gave us hypothermia, even having to ignore the bus spider we saw super early in the playthrough. But with barely enough time to spare, I made it to Whalebone and unlocked the teleporter, so at least I'd have a quick way back if I froze to death. I could then chat to Ethel, and he was the leader of this outpost, and he told me about a distress signal he got from a patrol in Fisker Harbor and asked us to investigate. I also saw Lo had moved in, and he even gave me more deviation tasks. Not sure how he wasn't freezing out here in that suit, but for the rest of the day we decided to search for a new and improved base location. As up on the mountains was getting pretty tedious, I did see an opportunity where the bus crawler was taking a nap, giving me the chance to climb in its booty and loot the chest inside, then headed over to what I thought could be a good spot based on my map. Grav was also out looking for spots for us as I kept zooming along, but when I got to the spot I wanted,
Someone has built in the spot where I saw on the minimap.
so this wasn't going to work. I did find some Star Trace ore, which I started to mine, except some bison decided to stop me. While I was here, I did check with the base move tool to see if the spot would work at all, but it didn't look good. Thus, I then headed to see where Grav's spot was, ending up down on the beach where there were even some seals, so we decided this would be the spot. Moving the entire territory only for my garage to end up underwater. Thus, I was forced to dismantle my garage and start to build up a new one. Grav was excited about being by the ocean as now he'd be able to do some fishing. I was just happy to not be freezing anymore. Though now that we had some flat land, I wanted to work on my house a bit, then spend a bit of time harvesting resources in the area. Now, since Grav and I have that build contest going on, we chose to spend the entirety of day 29 and 30 harvesting resources in the area, constructing up the house, and even buying some toys for my deviations to keep them happy. The official build submission will only be later on for the contest, but we wanted to have at least spent some time learning the mechanics and making a decent mid-game house, at least for the moment anyway.
With all the time we had spent on our bases, it had started to snow on our beach. So much for avoiding the cold. I headed over to Grav's, but something didn't look quite right. Quickly, before you go any further, come with me outside here. Look at your roof.
Oh.
Now that I'd triggered Grav's OCD to want to work on his base more, I made my way inside his house as Grav had a wish machine I could use. Now, I had a long look through all of the weapons on display, but ultimately I chose to unlock an assault rifle. The Soccer, the Last Valor. I wasn't sure which armor I wanted to go with just yet, and I'll have to do some reading to see which armor benefits the Last Valor the most. I did also make myself just some rustic tier 2 armor, using the wool and bearskin to ensure I had decent cold resist. And while going through the crafting recipes in the gear workbench, I found out that velvet is a much better cold resist material to use for crafting. How does one get velvet? You craft it with feathers. And where do the feathers come from, you might ask? Flamingos. I tell Grav all of this, and we teleport as close as we can to Wishland, and we began to fight our way into the poultry prey. I began slaughtering any and every flamingo that spawns, and during our flamingo onslaught I noticed one sitting on a boat alone. While waiting for the flamingos to respawn, the corrupted bears and wolves wanted to see what was up, so I showed a bear my new bow, and we kept farming the corrupt bears and wolves in the area as both animal skins are useful in cold resistance crafting. I also noticed we had a ton of mods by now, so I told Grav we really should look into weapon modding at some point. Grav desperately wanted to see what his newly acquired snapshot deviant did, so I just sent him over to another group of deviants to take them out. We left Wishland only to stumble upon another floating balloon. Once we got home though, I used the feathers to make some velvet. Maybe now the armor I make will actually keep me warm. And I started day 32 by calibrating my leg armor and crafting a brand new tier 2 hat. Calibrating is basically like adding resources to give the gear a slight boost in stats, and I then ran over to Grav's base to deliver the velvet I crafted for him, since he was a few pieces short to craft his tier 2 armor. This way, you'll at least stay warm. I tell Grav as he rubs his hands together, obviously affected by our cold climate. I collected some seawater, which I boiled for salt to make delicious steak as I began to get hungry, and also found out that different types of ingredients used in cooking give us different buffs, an important detail for much later. Looking on the map, I jotted down a pin for our next location to explore, the Hive Rail Rift Anchor and its teleportation tower. Driving up the mountain, I let Grav know I was just going to explore a bit while waiting for him, coming across that blasted Chaos Weaver nearby. We joked about taking it on before escaping with the help of our friendly Crow V. And on the journey to Hive Rail, I decided to shave some time by going off-road, completely missing a bridge and driving into the small pond hidden from view by the brush. As we continue on, I point out to Grav that we aren't getting as affected by the nearby Chaos Weave as we were previously. We got slightly distracted by a missed mission. Obviously we had to stop to complete it for the sweet loot. Hey, I got another mini feaster. And we then proceeded towards the Hive Rail Rift Anchor location. Entering the restricted zone, we began to clear the enemies with haste. Running up the ramp, I noticed a glowing, floating purple orb. Oh, there's another one of those ghosty things again. And running up the second ramp, I start fighting the enemies on my left, unaware of the machine gun turret on my right. I quickly ran back down the ramp to heal. After dealing with the turrets and enemies, we continue forward, where I find a Fetch-a-Lot bunny deviation. I called Grav over, indicating there's a deviation where I'm currently at.
Coming.
A Fetch-a-Lot bunny.
Fetches something.
Yeah, he fetches a lot.
After a little while of searching, I located the mystical crate tied to the exploration zone mission up on a grinder. Now the question is, how do we get up there? So during our exploration of the area, searching for weapon and gear crates, and the way up to the mystical crate, Grav found another Fetch-a-Lot bunny, which I quickly went to go and collect. I decided to telepathically pick up an explosive barrel, sending it flying towards the enemies on the other side of the room we were exploring. Running out of ammo mid-fight, I decided reloading wasn't worth it, and finished the job with my torch. Efficiency at its finest. The Hive Rail exploration zone continued to call our names, so Grav and I set off to search for weapon and armor crates, along with the elusive Rift Anchor. Meanwhile, I was busy clearing another building and decided to spice things up by role-playing as a security guard.
Sir, please ensure you have no weapons on you. Laptop out the bag, laptop.
Until a random player showed up and shattered the vibe. So much for the immersion. Our search paid off shortly after, as I too discovered some fireproof plastic in a storage crate. Finally, our progression bottleneck was starting to crack. With renewed motivation, we pressed on, eventually activating the Rift Anchor and looting a nearby weapon crate. My prize, a DE-50 Wildfire.
I got it.
Deagle. Non-fireproof plastic.
Grav was slightly jealous, but we had no time for envy. There was still an exploration zone to conquer. Soon we stumbled upon the Hive Rail scenic viewpoint, heavily guarded by enemies. I telekinetically picked up an explosive barrel, only for it to detonate midair. Boom! I was sent flying flat on my back. And once the enemies were dealt with, we activated the viewpoint and continued deeper into the zone. Outside, we debated which way to go, deciding to return to the exterior after finishing the interior. Inside, I found an elevator leading to the depths of Hive Rail. Descending into the unknown, I defeated an enemy that dropped yet another Fetch-a-Lot bunny.
I kinda don't want to walk in the goo. It looks menacing.
Grav, of course, fell straight into the goo near instantly. Flailing and panicking while I navigated across sunken cargo containers, karma caught up with me soon enough when I misjudged a chump and splashed into the goo myself. We encountered a new deviant type, which I promptly dubbed Drillhead. After pinging it for Grav, we teamed up to take it down, scaling a mountain of train cars and ledges, climbing up a ladder to a crate I hoped would complete our collection.
It's a mimic!
And once we dealt with the sneaky crate, we used jump pads to reach the mountain's peak and loot the mystical crate. Grav spotted the final gear crate, and with a triumphant leap, we glided down to it, completing all the exploration tasks and leveling up to level 40. Our descent ended back at the Rift Anchor, where we dispatched some lurking enemies before teleporting home to base. I made my way into the workshop to disassemble the massive haul from Hive Rail. The crafting spree commenced as I forged steel and copper ingots to construct solar power panels. I even began to craft my new Doom Buggy, the all-terrain vehicle.
Grav, as expected, rushed over to inspect it, and satisfied with his ore, I collected my steel and copper to begin powering up my base. I set up a power pylon outside, collected power lines to my house and garage, and powered Digby Boy's securement unit. Then I installed an electric furnace in the garage and started smelting aluminum ingots. Progress, efficiency, and just a pinch of chaos. It was a productive day. I was relieved to see my electric furnace did not need any charcoal, so I was happy to bask in the newfound efficiency. Grav ran into some trouble setting up power, so I swang by to help, showing him the art of proper wiring. Back at my base, I collected aluminum and started eyeing the next gear tier. Warning Grav that engineering plastic and special parts will likely be our next hurdle. And fed up with the tedious wood gathering, I made myself a logging chainsaw purely out of spite. And testing it, I gleefully mowed through trees and bragged to Grav about my massive haul. Back home, I tended to my crops, topped off the compost bin with spoiled meat, and listened as Grav celebrated his new purified water setup.
Yay! I'm getting purified water.
While farming aluminum, I decided to start on a surprise project, a thermal tower. Smelting aluminum and steel, I asked Grav for acid, which he gladly provided, and crafted the high voltages I needed. And I had to scout for the perfect spot to place the tower, as asking Grav for building permissions and hopes placing it between our bases, but we weren't quite able to. However, progress marches on, fueled by teamwork and a little ingenuity. So I set up the thermal tower in our mining area, hoping its range will benefit both our bases. I granted him the necessary permission so he can assist in its construction. So this tower, we need to build it up. And as we build it up, it will give AoE bonuses to our area. We need to decide on what we want to build up and to increase the temperatures and whatever. After inspecting the tower, we planned our next step. We needed hot rock ore and cold crystal ore to complete it. Back at my base, I upgraded my weapon to tier 3, fine-tuning it and enhancing its mod. As Grav notified me, he's already mined some crystal ore somehow. So we decided to head back to the Tundra Monolith, remembering the abundance of cold crystal nodes there. On the drive, I followed the spider bus briefly, wanting the loot crate inside, but we decided it just wasn't worth the delay and moved on. And testing my upgraded weapon on the local buffalo population, we teleported to the monolith, and at the pit we wanted to start farming cold crystal ore, and Grav had worked out you throw molotovs to crack the nodes before mining them. We should maybe look to make a flamethrower. Are we cheaper than molotovs? Along the way, I grabbed some aluminum as Grav excitedly announced he's mining tungsten. Confused, I checked my pickaxe, and it turns out Grav has the alloy pickaxe, a tier above my steel one, enabling him to mine tungsten. After confirming this, I learned the engrams for alloy tools from my mimetic page, and armed with this knowledge, I refocused on farming the cold crystal ore, determined to gather everything we need for the thermal tower. I've got over 300 cold crystal ore. I think we're good. With enough ore, I set off teleporting back to my base to deposit the haul into the thermal tower. Grav asked if I had any acid left, and I sadly was all out. But he had made me my very own alloy pickaxe, which I was happy to collect. Looking at the extraction access cards, I told Grav, we use these extraction access cards. So before crafting another hetium and more ammo, we had a chat on how to gather hot rock ore as I browsed the mimetic page. Something called frost grenades.
That sounds easy to make.
And realizing we need a synthesis table, which requires acid. I say as we brainstormed ways to gather the materials for frost grenades, I then crafted a full set of tier 3 rustic armor, mixing materials for various buffs and installing mods to boost my stats. I disassembled the unused tools and mods, as they give me mod parts, which I'll use to enhance my weapon mod to make it even stronger. In the morning, I had a look through Grav's wish machine again, and this time I unlocked the blueprint to make Bastille boots. You see, the Bastille had a set effect I liked. With just a single piece of the armor, my damage would be increased by 10% if I had high HP. I had a different set of armor in mind for the rest of my gear, but now I had the boots which I crafted a tier 3 set of at my base. And with that done, we reviewed our task list and decided to tackle Black Gold, a quest below our gear level but perfect for a quick catch-up run. So I teleported to Whalebone to check in with Masley to continue the quest line, then returned home to craft a backpack expansion.
After crafting yet another hetium, we teleported to the waterside tower and began driving toward the task waypoint. On the way, we got distracted by yet another missed mission and defeating the siren and looting a level 2 mini feaster from the crate. We pressed on to Fisker Harbor and stopped at a cliff overlooking the area. Jumping off, we glided down and met Cora, who throws us into an instance. In the instance, we had to use a stun baton to power streetlight cells, and after lighting the first one, I'll admit I got a bit stuck, unsure where to go next, so I asked Grav for some tips before following his lead but just sprinting through ignoring everything. Locating and activating the remaining cells, and powering the final one completes the black gold task, triggering a very cheesy voice line from V.
That did it. Power's back on. I guess you really know how to light up a room, huh? What? Not even a sympathy chuckle?
Cringeworthy, but the job is done. I had a chat with Cora to technically complete the mission, then made sure to grab the scenic viewpoint. There was also a juicy gear crate and a strange floating umbrella. It turned out to be an enemy, so it had to die. We found the Mystical crate soon after, as well as another riddle crate, but around us there had been these piles of ice. These were actually left by a deviation that Lo had told me about, so we decided to see if we could find it. Now, Grav couldn't see it for some reason, but we worked out it was because I had accepted the quest from Lo and he hadn't. The ice was melted with the Molotov so I could capture the ice pot deviation. And with that done, we ended up fast traveling back to Whalebone to meet up with Ethel and let him know Fisker Harbor was safe. Our next task was one we'd gotten a few days ago, and that was to head to the Tiger Containment Center. So Grav and I met up at one of the teleportation towers.
You know you're all allowed to use your motorbike if you prefer, hey?
This is so much easier for me.
Because you don't have to worry about repairing.
I have to do nothing.
You lazy sod.
It was a long drive back to Onyx Tundra, and we actually ended up at a location we had tried to do before. This was a Rosetta lab we had tried and died to a hypothermia at. Well, we made our way into and up the facility, taking the interior elevator down to the innermost room. We cleared out all the Rosetta soldiers, then found there was another puzzle here. I had to line up the logo for Rosetta, which I did accidentally as Grav pushed me, and then inside was the Mystical crate. Downstairs was the room we were here for, as written on the whiteboards was a ton of construction plans, and even the entirety of the column's leadership mapped out. Clearly Rosetta had been doing some research. We had to take some photos so I could show them back at camp. Grav, however, was taking his time. I chose to get some push-ups done to stay fit. But before we did, we headed back to camp, and we wanted to fully secure the settlement exploration, so that meant finding one more crate and the rift anchor. The crate was hidden in the cell, and the rift anchor was up on the helipad. So with that cleared, we went back to Camp Igloo and chatted to Wendy. We told her all about how Rosetta was studying chaosium, the same substance that Igna and the vultures were so obsessed with. Clearly there was something greater going on here. She also wasn't too happy that Rosetta called her basically harmless, but enough of that. We had other tasks to complete as we arrived back in the snowy town of Whalebone. Knowles here we met with the transport captain who let us know we were going to rendezvous with the infamous Roland, the main leader of the column.
Oh, hi bus.
And as we arrived at the location marked on a map, we weren't greeted by Roland. We were greeted by some lady named Veronica, the chief scientific officer for the column. She told us Roland had gone as part of a team to Emberstrand, so it doesn't look like we'll be meeting him anytime soon. But as we were talking, a group of vultures had ambushed us and were attacking. They did not stand much of a chance as I quickly achieved victory. And chatting to Veronica now that the pests were dealt with, she asked us to finish the rendezvous in Bear's Den, one of the cities further down the road, but I didn't want to do that yet. I wanted to make better armor, but I was out of the velvet and hides I planned to use for it. So I arrived back at Wishland. It was here I took out the bears, wolves and flamingos, collecting up every resource I may need, and it took the entire day until I got bored of farming and decided to do something else. And there was another Operation Chiron going on, and since Grav was not around, I wanted to see if I could solo it, only for another random player to show up and begin to do it with me. It was easy anyways, as we eventually killed the final boss to claim the loot for a completed world event, and there wasn't much else for me to do in Onyx Tundra, at least nothing else that I wasn't horrendously over-leveled for. Thus, I decided to investigate the access cards, and I found a purification facility just outside of Whalebone, and this is where you can input different access cards. The better the card, the better the loot, but also so the tougher the enemies. You have to build up defenses either by bringing the resources you need or simply moving around the pre-placed structures to defend this pump. Once you're ready, simply activate it and now the siege begin. Waves of enemies try to swarm the pump as I fired hundreds of rounds, felled dozens of enemies and managed to protect my pump with 800 health remaining. This victory gave me some chaosium, acid, stardust source and one or two other things. In the morning, I came outside my base to find Grav was building something we probably should have made a long time ago. This was a Stardust Resonator. In the game, to buy the blueprints of weapons and armor, you use a currency called Starchroms. This currency, a fantastic way to get it is using this machine, but the problem is it starts a wave-based defense. I threw down some mini turrets I'd gotten from a crate.
Don't worry, I brought some defenses. It's a capitalism enemy! We'll kill the enemies with capitalism.
Capitalism did run out, unfortunately, so I switched to a spotlight to continue the defense. An elite enemy did spawn, which we took out as quick as we could.
Elite enemy down. It was a disciple. Fortunately, this is a good way to get acid as well because of all the enemies.
And it took a couple more minutes of defense until the purification was complete. So we claimed our 2,500 Starchroms as our prize. Now, unfortunately, this is not something you can farm. It has a week-long cooldown per use, even if you do it with a friend. A fact I learned only after setting up my own filter with turrets and all. Thus, we chose to just continue on with the rendezvous mission.
Do you want to know what's nice? The Chaos Weaver that used to be here is gone. For now, anyway, until a new one spawns. Oh!
Well, hello. Why is it not snowy here?
Because I think it just spawned in.
What are the chances of that?
Pretty low if I had to guess. So bad luck out of the way, the rest of the drive went by seamlessly.
I don't think we can get up here, I'll be honest. So, 4x4, whee!
As I was saying, we arrived at Bear's Den in one piece, though for some reason Grav no longer wanted to drive with me, so we just ran over to claim the teleportation tower in order to complete the quest. There were a couple shops being operated here, but nothing that really was super important. Thus, we decided we now wanted to do something fun. We wanted to complete another securement silo, only to be distracted once again by the mist. Now, we wanted to do the level 20 silo, thinking we had done the level 10 previously, only to arrive at the level 20 and find it was the one we had done earlier. Just meant we had to drive over to the level 10 one instead, where T-Man was waiting for us outside, and our mission this time was to take out a murderer. This was gonna be fun. Our bullets shredded the vultures, and it was like the enemies were butter and we were shooting hot forks at them. So we flew through the dungeon at record pace until I found a cute little flame essence deviation I was able to capture. Grav, who already had one, told me it decreases smelting time. Amazing! We fought along through the caverns, only for Grav to just disappear.
Party can hurst. Wait, where did you go? Oh, okay, I went to 2. Oh, hi, friend. This guy's cool.
If only he did something.
I mean, he looks cool, at least.
Oh, there we go. Hello.
Too bad it's too late.
Well, that entire silo was kind of easy. We claimed an invincible sun deviation, a combat version, and then grabbed the loot to head out of the silo.
Victory! Hey, you dealt the final blow before victory. Nice. I'll give you a like.
Oh, thank you.
We told TV Head outside that the job was done. And since this one was so easy, we wanted to do the level 30 silo. Thus, there was a long drive to get there as we found another mist mission. This time, we had to pop some spider eggs with our lead, and with it done, we got to the top of the cliff above the silo. T-Man was once again waiting for us with a new contract. This time, it was someone who had hired an assassination on themselves. I mean, that's one way to go, I guess. To you as a viewer, don't ever do this. If you're struggling mentally, seek help. There are many resources available, and I implore you to make use of them. For now, though, it was time for us to enter the silo. It seemed fairly standard at first. Defeat the deviants trying to stop us as we gradually went deeper and deeper. And it was going great, right until the umbrella enemy showed up. The deviants kept pushing us backwards until we cleared them enough that we could focus down the umbrella head. Even rewarded with a deviation to capture inside. A little frog the leaper. Now if only the deviants were going to be the only struggle.
Oh, I don't like the look of this passageway.
We started to slowly maneuver past all of the lasers. Getting through it, I was able to deactivate the lasers for Grav to follow through. And once through them all, there was a door we had to open, revealing an incredibly icy passageway. Down the hallway was what to be our boss fight.
Empty house. It's a fridge! The fridge enemy! It shoots ice cubes!
My rifle was getting really low on durability, but I thankfully had some all-purpose hands which repair the most damaged piece of equipment you have. Great for on-the-go fighting. With the repaired rifle, the bullet swarm started up again, aiming for the tentacles as they seemed to take the most damage. The boss was dying, so it threw out a glutton as an extra problem for us to deal with. It rushed us and began to push us back like crazy. We took down the glutton finally, but that got really scary for a moment. The boss had only a scrap of health left that we were able to finish off and achieve victory on the silo. Our reward was a new deviation, the ice pot, as well as some mods and other stuff I'm sure is useful, and Grav was rewarded with debuff master while I got trump card. But this dungeon was our closest damage amount yet at 50.3%. T-Man was happy as ever that we'd completed the task, though by now I didn't fully understand what we'd actually done. Another productive task done, and in honor of that, we wanted to keep up the streak and work on unlocking some rift anchors here in Vina Fjord. So we came back to Fisker Harbor, gliding all the way down to the rift anchor. We also grabbed the weapon and gear crates, and with Fisker Harbor done, we did not wait around, heading straight across the map to Frostforge to unlock our next anchor. We weren't fighting deviants this time though, we were fighting vulture soldiers. We don't discriminate when it comes to our enemies. We took out these vulture fanatics as efficiently as we could, grabbing loot in the rift anchor and even finding some absolute chunks of enemies like this axe hammer dude. But these vultures had some TVA technology as there was a magic portal network here, leading all the way up to a weird circular room. But this is where I made a realization as I leaped out of the structure to glide down.
Oh, you know what this thing is? This is a Chaos Weaver. They're building a Chaos Weaver. Or they're tearing down a Chaos Weaver, or something.
Whatever they're doing, I'm sure we'll figure everything out once we can finally find their leader, Igna. Like, how did the Chaos Weavers come to be, and will we ever be able to kill one? It was Grav who found the next area we may want to explore. So while he worked his way through there, I was dealing with a guy that had a sword. And as a reward for killing him though, I looted the weapon crate and got a deviation with the sword. The Xeno Purifier, which is a combat deviation as a samurai. Grav had found something in his cave, and that just meant I had to run down the icy tunnels to meet up with them again. At the bottom, we fought our first messenger of Igna, and gosh, they were so tough to kill, taking a ton of damage until finally they went down, and we could claim the mystical crate they had been protecting. With that, the settlement was complete. All I then did was head home where I set up my Xeno to become my new combat deviation, and I even set up a red light in the radio for music to increase its mood and power recovery. Then went over to show Graf my new friend, Samura.
Jeepers.
He does not walk, he slides. Oh, there he's walking. Ah!
What the hell's it doing?
It's exploded.
Stop it! Naughty, not in the house.
So I was to be using a samurai, and Grav was using a hot potato. With our new deviations in hand, we began to make our way over to the next and final rift anchor we needed at Dangling Vessel Cove. Arriving there at the start of day 45, this one was a lot more basic than others as there were no tasks or objectives, simply the rift anchor to claim, and we did also find a containment unit which had a strange door deviation inside. You know, we may actually be able to capture every single deviation in this 100 days. The rift anchor has been activated, however, thus our job was completed. And back at home, I equipped a ton of mods to my weapons and equipment. Now, these aren't finalized yet, so I'll explain my full build later in the video. Also, while here, I built my third vehicle.
Okay. Are you ready to roll up putting the boss?
Mm-hmm.
And our new rod.
No, jeez.
Let's go!
That's right. We were off to make our way up the mountain to face off against the next monolith. But to get there, we had to once again fight through the Rosetta forces trying to stop us. Once at the top, we entered the containment facility to grab the final scraps of loot, then entered the portal. We spawned in a strange room where we had to jump in this black goo to get up the ledge and enter the boss fight, and it was time for the fight against the winter whomping willow.
It's got propeller heads. We're like backed up against a wall here. Oh,
Yeah.
I hate these guys that freeze themselves as you kill them so that they regen.
The tree was chopped down by the end of the day, with our prize being a tar pudding deviation and some extra loot. We took our loot home where I made my way inside Grav's house to use his wish machine again. I bought the Lone Wolf gloves as I'd farmed enough star crumbs, getting me closer to the full set of gear that I wanted for my build. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. I then headed home where I set up a containment silo for the flame essence I'd captured. And this fire toad speeds up the smelting on your furnace, making it quite nice to have. I set up a synthesis bench which I can use to craft tactical equipment, but I was upgrading my Eclipse Cortexes from level 1 to level 2. These were what we used in the Stardust Resonator to make Starcrum, so I wanted the highest levels possible. Then Grav had made a couple more improvements to his base, but the full rebuilds will come later on. I did want some upgrades of my own, a small refinery that can be used to craft portable fuel into premium, and with a specific mimetic specialization, can be used to craft sulfur into hot rock ore. I made an intermediate stove to unlock some better food recipes, as trust me, we don't know it yet, but food making is incredibly important in Once Human. It would have made our lives so much easier if we realized it sooner. Then finally, I set up a mining platform. This miniature quarry will passively generate me some ores that are in the area. So for the moment, I wanted it to get me some tungsten. What was great is my Digby boy will work alongside the mining platform to increase the speeds. I guess it's true what they say, the children really do yearn for the mines. And while they had their pickaxe swinging side to side, I made my way to Whalebone where I planned to chat to Lo, but I could see the Chaos Weaver was floating about nearby. Naturally, Grav and I wanted to see if we were dealing any more damage compared to the ones we were hitting earlier on.
Well, I have good news. I'm no longer doing 1 damage to it. I'm doing 2.
Amazing.
We probably wasted hundreds of rounds shooting at this giant floating ice cube maker, even working out that the arms took regular damage when shot at, but its health was not moving. Ultimately decided to speed away in my coupe, and I woke up on day 48 with a plan.
Hey, do you want to come with me to do something fun?
Yes.
Cool, get in. I'm outside your place.
With my passenger princess in the car, we drove far along the coast, went down zip lines, then arrived at Thorbreak Harbor Purification Site. We had to gather some resources and use them to set up defenses in anticipation of the deviants that would be attacking here momentarily. And enemies went down fairly quickly up until the elite enemy that took a couple more rounds, and we were doing this defense as there are 2 deviations you can get from them, the Shattered Maiden and Party Monkey. And well, we got neither, but at least we got some acid. There was another player who was in the area and they started a purification too, so I jumped in to help out because I'm a nice person. It was just convenient I also wanted their loot. It was just extra convenient the player happened to die during it and we got the stuff freely. So we chose to head home satisfied with our haul. And in the morning, Grav had decided to do the relaxing act of pulling out his rod. I remembered I had that journey task to complete, and that involved me getting some corn from Grav, which I used to make dough fish bait. And took my bait to the ocean where I pulled out my rod alongside Grav and cast my line into the water. Took a few attempts trying to catch a fish without the line snapping, scoring myself a beautiful little sardine. I ended up wasting the rest of my bait not grasping how the mechanic actually worked, and I tried to use my rifle but that didn't quite work.
Okay, fine. Yeah, this is how I could go fishing.
That hits me.
Hey, I see. I'll help you catch a fish.
It was a beautiful fish grab, but clearly I was not the fisherman of the group. I set off to see if we could find another boss to fight, and finding an iceberg on the side of the road, we melted it to reveal a hidden crate. We drove along, grabbing some things like another mist crate, and we were on our way to complete another monolith. It was listed on the map as level 27.
Level 60 recommended players 4.
Oof. Listen, bud. Oh, we're doing it.
Of course we're doing it.
As they say, YOLO. Unless you have respawns, and welcome to the Zone of Haze, the hardest dungeon in the game. We started down the corridor, and at the end of it was some gold pedestals with triangles and a floating symbol above them. At the top on the wall was a golden circle with the same symbols and 2 others.
Oh, wait, stop. It's top one first, I think.
I thought correctly, as in the Zone of Haze there are multiple puzzles along the way to progress, all relating to these symbols.
These enemies take no damage. Oh, we are so... Oh, and we got that blackness effect again.
The effect was lethal. If you stay in the darkness for too long, you will start taking massive amounts of damage. But right now, we had to pump the deviants full of bullets.
It's a good thing I have 10,000 bullets at the moment. We're gonna need them. Killed a couple level 60 guys and all I got was a stapler.
The remaining enemies continued to soak up all of our bullets before we braved up enough to just make a run for it through the darkness until we got to the 3rd pillar. This one had the diamond and even more bullet sponges for us to fill with lead, so we ran back again to get to the first room to destroy that shape. And with it down, there was only the moon left that we destroyed, and that achieved nothing. We only actually needed to destroy the first 2 shapes for this particular puzzle in order to get through the doors, and thus we ran back to continue onwards out the other side. There were these strange light balls I could pick up and launched at the enemies ahead as a notice appeared.
Defeat God Order Keeper. Okay, we got a bigger enemy. Oh, it's coming! It's coming! It's coming!
Now I want to remind you, this is the hardest dungeon in the game, rated for 4 players at level 60. We were not even max level yet, had no tier 5 gear or weapons, and 0 clue what we're doing. We died, got up, died, got up, died, got... Oh, you get the point. We never stood a chance, as I blacked out for the final time, so we decided to leave the Zone of Haze. We'll be back once we have more gear, and maybe some friends too. Outside the entrance, there was some loot and enemies that got taken down as clearly was needed, and at home I did set up the medium garage for myself so I could unlock the next vehicles. But it was so expensive to craft them, I wouldn't be able to do it soon. Grav was showing me some ice cubes he had made in the morning, and I had in the meantime done some farming. Turns out the next vehicle was cheaper than expected as I showed it off to Grav, but we were meeting up as Grav had once again done some more work on his base.
I like the rock feature.
Through this door we have a garage with a rock feature.
Very nice. I like the rock.
And a couch.
It's keeping it natural, you know, keeping it all natural.
Grav did need some toys to make his flame essence happy, so I built some llamas to help him out, and a real life week had passed since our last Stardust filter defense. Thus, we began a new one to earn those beautiful star chromes. We took out the enemies fairly quickly, earning us a fantastic 3,400 star chromes. We had also set up some sulfur to convert into hot rock ore, which is exactly what we needed to build up our thermal tower. Finally, we would be able to warm up the area. I found back at my base during the defense some of my storages got destroyed in the attack. Unfortunately, the resources were not lost, instead being placed in my territory vault. Grav and I had to drive off in the morning, but the new truck was so damn slow. Now, I did learn later why, but for now, this was just a massive downgrade and chose to switch vehicles.
Bye, truck, you were a waste of resources.
We made it to the Frost West teleportation tower, where nearby I did see someone had built on the truck, so maybe it is useful. Couldn't worry about that now, however, as we were heading to begin the Unstranded mission.
This place is looking ominous.
We grabbed the tower, then had a chat to Bird, and Roland had been captured and Bird believed that he was being held in Fire God Research Facility. That just meant we now needed to make our way there. But this was our first time entering Emberstrand, the 3rd and final area of Way of Winter, and place with the best loot hardest enemies, and a brand new terrain to crash my car. We found our first hot rock ore node and noticed the deviants here looked slightly spookier. We fought our way through the area to activate our first rift anchor in this zone, and the rest of the trip was pretty difficult, with some really bad terrain and a very rickety bridge.
Explore area, level 48. Oh, it's hot. It's 40 degrees Celsius. I am burning. Are we gonna have to make warm armor now?
We weren't happy at all about the heat as I clung to V gliding down to the bridge where thankfully it was not as hot. And with the sweat still dripping across our backs, we grabbed the TP tower close to our next objective and chose to head home, as clearly we weren't fully prepared for this area. I wanted to make some tier 4 armor with the lone wolf blueprints I'd made, but I was short of metallic fiber, which we had to farm in the high level settlements, so I decided to instead see if I could build on my truck. Having to fetch it off the mountain, brought it back, and I could, setting up a small platform and even some turrets with a solar panel to power them. This was gonna be fun, as I started driving along while the turrets began to rapidly shoot everything around me.
This is awesome.
But that was just a quick experience. We used some of the cold crystal ore we had collected to make up our first cold stones, a coldium each. Hopefully now we don't melt into little puddles, then headed back to the tower we had activated. It was still hot, but the coldium just barely got us into the cozy temperature. So we headed in to begin sieging the Fire God research facility, and the Rosetta workers here were tough, but we had a job to do. Fighting our way around the outside of the facility first, then headed in. We got to what was the main research room and found Rosetta was doing a ton of research on Chaosium. They're even planning to break their alliance with the Vultures at some point. Now this was all really interesting, but we were here to save Roland, so had to continue onwards.
Oh, that's a big hand.
I found the laboratory key just left behind on one of the researchers' desks. Not the best safety principles, but all the workers do have guns, so I suppose they thought it was safe. And with the key in hand, we kept making our way through the facility, finding another puzzle room where I had to once again line up the logo to unlock the door, only to get knocked down as a grenade exploded nearby. Grav helped me back up so I could head inside and claim the weapon crate within. And we then found this vent which had some shadow blockages, preventing us getting past, but there was a lamp I could activate which allowed us to get through. We found the final gear crate on the other side, and this is where we needed to go. In a container here were some of Roland's soldiers locked inside. They told us Roland had already escaped as Rosetta had been using them as test subjects for Chaosium research. We agreed to free them so they could get back to the rest of the column, and thus we began to fight our way to Rosetta's portal door, clearing out the enemies and activating the portal to let the prisoners escape. We first made sure the area was safe, and by safe, I mean we took the time to loot everything, then followed them through. The prisoners were waiting on the other side for us and let us know they were heading back to Unfallen. They also told us that we could likely find Roland at a small settlement called Oblivion, and guess I know where we're heading next. We got there pretty quickly thanks to my coupe being built for speed, then guess who we found waiting at the top? None other but Roland himself. He was relieved to hear we had saved his team for him and that the rest of the column was still holding strong. And he also told us how Rosetta had injected Chaosium into his arm, causing it to go all fiery and stuff. But he wanted us to do some research about Igna, and that meant going to his childhood home, Ashington, a city Igna had burnt to the ground. The city right next door to Oblivion, and oh boy, were there some tough deviants here. We started fighting our way in only to find an enemy we had only seen once before.
It was this. The Order Keeper.
Grav ended up going down only for me to follow not long after when its light turned orange, froze me, and one-shot me. And we went down one more time each, having to get back on our feet using adrenaline, till we finally killed the Order Keeper. Enemies were definitely going to be much tougher from this point on, but we couldn't stop yet. Fighting our way until V opened his beak about how there was not much of a settlement left to find here, and he pointed out 3 after image locations for us to get to that we could learn about Igna. But we would have to get there first as the enemies here were so tough.
Oh, what? These guys can disseminate? What is this Harry Potter bullshit?
While in this area though, the stardust pollution was causing our sanity to deteriorate. I even got a disease called Destroyer which reduces my sanity from every kill. So we were starting to snack on sanity gummies to combat this. We got to the next building where inside I spotted a weather forecaster, another new enemy I chose to shoot.
What have you done?
I don't know.
What have you done?
I might have shot something that I shouldn't have.
We had the high ground, so we took it out before finishing off the remaining enemies so I could drop down and loot all of the stuff here. Since this was a high level, the loot we find should enable us to make better gear. We finished clearing out enemies, except this damn shadow enemy would not leave me alone, and I had no clue what to do about it. So when the deviants started respawning, we were in trouble.
No! Ah, it's after me!
Oh, that hurts, that hurts. Get out, get out, get out, get out. Just get out of here. We leave, we flee. Oh, there's a lot of stuff here. This is a bad direction. Bad direction. Bad direction.
Run. Oh, they're coming out of the lava.
Oh, I'm dying so quickly.
Once home from our forced departure, we had at least gotten enough stuff that I was able to make advanced versions of the supplies and gear branch. With these crafting tables, I would be able to make tier 5 equipment, the max armor in the game. Now, before I made the equipment, I wanted to see if I could get some special hide, and that was the floating ice bear skin. A rare type of hide that'll only sometimes drop from bears. Where could I find the most bears? Very north on the icebergs, and they fell like flies. But I never got lucky to get the rare hide I wanted. It must have been hiding somewhere, you know. I am so sorry. This video has me getting like 3 hours of sleep at night. Please subscribe. Ultimately decided that I would use the basic bear hide, crafting a tier 5 chest piece of the lone wolf armor. Also made up some chaosium lanterns that'll help out the temperature if it's too hot or too cold, like a personal thermostat, even making one that I gave to Grav. Then also made a tier 5 of my weapon. Now, while I had the highest tier weapon equipment, I wasn't maxed yet. I would still be able to calibrate my equipment in order to increase the stats, and also choose relevant mods for each piece to ensure maximum damage and survivability. I unlocked the gas-tight helmet from the wish machine to have everything I needed for my build, and my build was going for full shrapnel damage. So I had Bastille boots, 4 pieces of the Lone Wolf armor set to get the full set bonus, and the gas-tight helmet. I hope that together I'd be able to deal some insane damage, and now, while I never looked up any guides on what armors to use, I won't be surprised if others have come up with this build before to maximize shrapnel damage from my last Valor rifle. I got some bulletproof fabric from Grav to finish my armor, and in exchange I built the advanced benches for him. And day 57 started as a pretty quiet day. I made a large garage where you can make the final vehicle. Then we ended the day back at Ashington as there was a deviation mission here. Stranded in the middle of the lava was a tar pudding deviation. Then went back to Low and let him know that we had captured the deviation. Once complete, we decided we wanted to do the next silo, this time heading to Silo Taurus, a level 40 dungeon. We found this place was infested with vulture soldiers who, safe to say, weren't too good at defending the area.
Bro, you brought an umbrella to a gunfight. What do you think is going to happen?
And we had a chat to T-Man to collect our task, and this one was an interesting one. The silo was used as an art gallery. It was beautiful. Though it was infested with vulture soldiers we started to take out, fighting through them, we then found a weird painting that we could walk through, and ending up in a strange painting world. This was awesome! There were stairs where some of the steps were transparent, and now this all really intrigued me. So when I saw these paintballs I could pick up, I launched them at the transparent statue, and it painted it! So we would have to paint our way through this world. And as we kept fighting along, there was an enemy in the same transparent color.
Oh.
Ah!
This guy's
Don't you
immune.
paint to see this guy?
I think we have to paint
kill
him. I'll leave you to paint him because he's chasing me.
I kept the guy busy while Grav searched for a paintball, making him able to be attacked and taken out, before going back into the real world through another painting. There were a couple vultures here that we took out so that we could investigate the strange painting in the back of the room.
Oh, shit.
Do not consent to being manhandled like that. Oh, we have a boss.
We opened fire on the messenger, shooting as much as we could until she doused herself in paint. I just instinctively knew we needed paintballs as I found one on the side of the room, launching it at the lady, making her vulnerable to damage once more so we could finish her off. There was a snow sprite deviation for us to each capture, bringing us another step closer to the goal of catching every deviation.
Oh, look at that. Grav with the MVP. And I got most critical hits landed.
Well done, Grav. With the silo complete, we decided to continue our deviation catching quest and headed to Wishland. Here we were to capture one called Mr. Wish. Except he wasn't like the others when we found him. He was just hanging around. He told me how he was a park manager here, but something was off. I was gonna have to investigate. In the gift shop was a note left by some Wishland employees, and it told me how if dolls are found out of place, I could just reprimand them to send them back. So searched around for a doll and found it, sending it to the gift shop as just before I died to the cold. Yeah, there was a chaos weaver in the area, bringing the temperatures down to freezing levels. Hypothermia. I did not miss you. Grav was at his home, thus he brought me a hetium to at least try and slow the cold taking my life. Then back at Wishland, we found a new note that wasn't there before. This was from Guide Luna. They were a worker here and told us how the park became infected like this when the Stardust explosion happened. The guide also mentioned they were potentially doomed to be a horse on the carousel. And that's where I went next. Another note, and now to find the unique child. At least if I read the card correctly, as I selected the wrong one at first. I got the correct kid on the next attempt and got to watch Grav make the same mistake I did. The next step was to the animal show. I was happy to make a stop and kill more flamingos, still wanting them to make velvet for the cold resist, and I quickly then completed the animal task before moving on to the museum guides task, then lastly to the Ferris wheel. Now, throughout all of this, I had just been following the notes left by Wishland staff, as I learnt if you find Mr. Wish, he has to, well, grant you a wish. The wish I chose to wish that Mr. Wish lets me capture him as a deviation. And with him captured, we headed back to Low to inform him of the news, and this is where the entire story became clear to us. When Starfall happened, Mr. Wish, the park manager, became a deviation and trapped all of the staff and guests in the park. So now that we had captured Mr. Wish, all those who still had some sanity left were free to leave. I guess we are the good guys, even if it involved enslaving creatures for our own personal gain. Now throughout our journey, we had just been playing the game and trying to progress naturally, and because we did it this way, there were a couple tasks which would take us back to locations we had previously completed and were now over-leveled for. A way to deal with this was to speedrun them, starting with high rail as I crashed straight through the guards, took the elevator up, the stairs back down, and spoke to the guards all around. By doing this, we learned V actually used to work for Rosetta, and this site was dedicated to studying the use of living machines, which is why Rosetta brought in the vultures, as it's dangerous. Too bad a little danger never stopped the vultures from trying to get an advantage. So we reported all this back to Veronica, who told us about another site we had already done before. Frostforge. We ran and shot as fast as we could, back down the tunnels where Igna's messenger went down like nothing, giving us free rein to talk to the Rosetta researcher who was stationed down here. We asked them an important question. How do you stop the Chaos Weaver? Their answer, by doing the impossible. Great. This was going to be tough. We had to delay how we could and grabbed up as much chaosium as was in the area before overfilling the furnace and watching the explosion once we safely escaped. Reporting the info back to Veronica, she was anxious and now wanted us to find Roland. Probably could have told her we already had, but you know.
Hey, we finally completed the mission to unlock Ember Strand. So we've actually caught up to ourselves now. In terms of missions. Being caught up, however, means you need to start doing the mission you had been putting off. So we were back to Ashington, the area we had died at last time. We fought through the deviants, and while we were slightly more prepared, they were still pretty tough. Looting everything we could, like the mythical chest and all, we made it to the location of the afterimages. Igna was basically always a psycho, trying to use Stardust before he discovered Chaosium, though his townmates were never quite happy with him. We also had our first encounter with the Luminara, and it was tough, but we put out its light. This area was actually full of new encounters, like a weird scarecrow and even a mirror that fired my own bullets back at me, knocking me down. Now, I'm not fully certain if that makes me weak or strong. While fighting, I ended up hitting max level in the game. Level 50. With my new levels of power, I entered the next house bravely, and there was this weird mouth on the wall, but it kept trying to spit at me, so we ignored it. We found and fought another mirror enemy, so I tried to flank it to prevent killing myself again. I'm gonna get behind it. No, I was trying to get behind it! Don't come to the same side as me! Oh, I can no longer shoot my gun, it's fully broken. Activating the all-purpose hand! And we managed to shatter the mirror, so now I could have a moment of peace to check out the afterimager. There was one more we had to find and listen to in order to know what we needed to deal with Igna, and we found a survivor of the town alongside Roland. Chatting to them both, we formulated a plan. We were to meet at Sunshroud Cave, but we had other priorities to deal with first. We looted the rest of the area, then headed home. With the resources, I was able to make myself that gas-tight helmet, so I now had my full set of tier 5 equipment. I calibrated a bunch of my equipment until I ran out of resources. I spent the next day just at my base, crafting a couple things, building some, and harvesting resources. You see,
we were planning to move one last time and build our final bases once and for all. So then on day 63, I set off in my coupe while Grav was off on his bike, and we were each searching for a spot where we could build. As if you remember early on in the video, I threw down the gauntlet and we were going to have a little contest that you can vote for in the comments. Whose build do you think is better? I found a nice spot on the beach next to a large cliff, while Grav was on a lush hillside further east. And with that, we each had 5 days to gather, craft and build our magnificent bases. Then we'll tour each other's spot for you, the viewer, to vote. It was day 70 by the time our build was coming to a close. I was finalizing with just a couple decorations, as soon I'd be meeting up with Grav. Now we might do some decorating and extra structures throughout the remainder of the challenge, but for now we were ready to tour, as I met Grav on the road nearby his base. Hello sir! Long time no see, it's been like the whole thing.
Oh, you got some bison trying to kill you.
No worry, I'll ask him a question.
Oh.
Where we go? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, this is yours. Okay.
For a bit of a diamond shape.
That is not what I was expecting, I'll be honest. Okay, well, show me around.
Oh, come on in.
Ooh, full marble. Oh, I see you kept the rock features.
Yes. So this area will be where all the deviations go, and then this side is unsure at the moment.
It's your bedroom. It's a bedroom. I can
We'll
see.
call it the bedroom
You got
now.
the bed here.
Alright, there we go. Is it comfortable?
It smells a little, but you know it's pretty comfy.
This area will be the main area where
Workshop.
workbenches go, whatnot. Upstairs, we will have other things like the fridge, the furnaces. Then we have ourselves a little patio.
I know what you can name it.
What?
The TIE Fighter.
Explain?
It's a Star Wars ship.
Oh no, this is where I tell everyone I'm not a Star Wars person. I haven't watched it. Oh, there we go. That's cancel number 3. In one video.
People are going to be telling me to fire you. It's going to be a great time. Well, with that news from Graf, it was time we drove over to my base so I could show him around. My place is down over here. I call this the Seaside Meth Lab.
The Seaside Meth Lab. I love that name.
Well, we can start over here. On the right-hand side, this is the garage.
Oh wow, I like this.
You can go up into the house through those doors, but we'll go take the main entrance. You walk up the stairs. We have the vending machine that offers you nothing to buy. And we come in through the doors, and you can see we don't have much lighted in the meth lab. We got
Some decorations, you know, got a piano you can play.
Yeah.
Got a little chill corner over here for if you're sad or happy, you know, you can hang out here.
This is really nice.
We have a rack on the wall here of the biggest fish I've ever caught.
Nice. I like how it's empty. It's amazing.
We have the unfinished kitchen. Currently it's just a stove and a fridge, you know.
What more do you need?
What do you need? Upstairs, this is what will eventually turn into a bedroom. We do have a fish tank here with the fish. A large empty space. Just look at all the room for activities, you know. So we'll continue down over here. Ignore this door on the left. That's not important right now. You see there's danger signs. You don't want to go in there.
Okay.
This is like the little workshop at the back of the house. There is a little section here where you can do some fishing if you like. You can stand like a little pier to do some fishing. So we'll go back inside and I'll show you the room that shall not be spoken about, you know. Because
I will not say a word.
as with every situation, you need some workers, some unpaid interns.
Oh, jeez.
As we come down over here, underneath the house, into the cellar, where this is where we store all the deviations.
I don't endorse this, but I like it.
We spent a bit more time running around the houses, but hey, now it's time for you as a viewer to vote. Whose base do you think is better? The budget TIE fighter or the seaside house on a lake? Leave a comment and subscribe to cast your vote. Now, enjoy this quick piano masterpiece which I played for Grav on his way out.
There you go. Played your little music on the
Thank
piano.
That was amazing.
Day 71 began with a short drive to the nearby production defense mission.
So where are we going?
Straight in front of us.
As we arrived, in went one of the many access cards we've looted along our adventure, crafting and placing cheap defensive structures before starting our defense.
Where the hell are you getting these cards from?
I'm crafting them with scrap.
Okay.
What? They're good defense. So we're doing a higher level one of these things than we've ever done before. That's the thing.
Yeah. Oh, I lost my deviation.
What?
Because I don't have it set up.
Oh,
I could have tried to use it.
seeing stuff just run into the ice spikes and die is kind of funny. Elite enemies approaching. Oh, I think I found the elite enemy.
Oh, this stuff's broken.
What's broken?
This side. It broke the stuff.
Yeah. Oh, there's another elite. Oh, we're getting double up of elite enemies now. That's not good. The production facility is taking damage
From where? I can't see anything.
from the elite enemies.
Oh, I'm down.
Down? Like,
Yeah, I need to be picked up down.
okay, I'm.
Oh wait, I can use
Beating-
adrenaline. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry.
It's just the one elite enemy that's about to die. I wanted to take it out before it
It's okay.
regenerated or something. We're about to get a third elite enemy. I've got trapped in the flashlight. Full of lead.
Oh, it's inside. It's inside. Net.
Oh shit. Just don't stand by the production thing so it doesn't shoot and accidentally hit that. Because that's all that matters. Okay, it's out now. Purification complete. We did it. I think they're gone.
With the defense finished quickly, we got our reward.
We get 800 calcium. Not bad.
Acid. Yes.
80 acid. That's 80 tungsten.
Amazing.
Then while leaving, I came across the bus. I shot its leg, hoping it would force it to stop.
It's currently down.
And inside the bus is a gear crate I looted, before continuing on the path to the next story mission area. Arriving at Sun Shroud Cave, we begin clearing the way.
Oh, hi, umbrella dude. Should not have brought an umbrella to a gunfight. Say that every time.
Silly vultures bringing melee weapons to a gunfight. Grav left me on enemy cleanup duty while he follows the clues to a mystical crate.
Leaves me to kill the guys, immediately just goes for the loot.
I didn't know there was another one.
There's a couple.
You got this. Strong, independent man.
And as I follow the clues for the crate, I looted a cool looking siren statue.
I'm glad we came this way first, because, you know, loot.
Yeah.
Oh, I got something sick.
What'd you get?
I can't wait to use it. It's a statue for my base.
Lackluster, but cool, I guess. Then entering Sun Shroud Cave, we loot both weapons crates, completing a task for the settlement exploration.
I just got a weapon, I think. Yeah. Look at what I got.
I show Grav my new sniper I get from the weapon crates before we continue exploring. Finding a rift anchor, Grav stops to read the field guide.
What you doing?
I'm just reading something.
I question him before collecting it myself.
Oh, there we go. Let's see the mystical crate down there.
So we've got a big guy in front of us.
Instead of listening to that maniac rant on, let's find whoever's in charge of this.
Holy cow, that is tanky. Help! Help!
You got this. I believe in you.
No, he's not that bad. Ah!
He's not that bad. Go get him.
Ah! Ow! Ow! Jeez, that was rude.
Oh, he wants me now. Yeah, you can stay up there.
And as we fight the heavy vulture, I dodge the axe throwing attack behind Grav.
Bullshit.
You probably should have caught that. Except just later hit you.
But down he went to axe, no more questions.
How are we meant to get down there normally?
But I know you want to go down, but I'm going up here.
No, the rift anchor and the mystical crates are down here.
Yeah, but there's a ladder going up.
Fine, I'll come up with you. I mean, you can take the ladder. I just took the zip line. Over here.
Yes, sir. What's a Xeno purifier?
Oh, hey, that's my guy. That's a samurai.
Yes!
Grav asked as he collected the samurai deviation I've been using, and as we're exploring we find pools of chaosium.
I kind of want to see what happens if she's swimming the chaosium. But I don't want to be the one to do it.
And Grav just steps over the pools of chaosium, but nothing happens. He just sort of floats above it on an invisible barrier.
Oh, that's disappointing.
We make it to the rift anchor, and as I kill an umbrella-wielding vulture, I get disappointed not being able to loot the umbrella.
Fine, dude. You brought an umbrella, I brought an axe. Let's see who wins.
I'm just gonna carry on looting.
That's fine. I want to prove a point. Oh, I thought I could get his umbrella. It was glowing. It was glowing because of his loot crates. I was like, oh, I'm getting an umbrella, yes. But no. No umbrella for me.
Looting the mystical crate nearby, we complete the area exploration. Collecting a scenic viewpoint, we continue moving forward, finding the Chaosium Researcher. Completing the mission as the conversation ends, getting distracted by V's nonsense once again. Thanks, V. And after completing the mission, we decide that our next objective will be to get the Gazaccio deviation. On the way to the mission area, I find another pink circle mist mission, deciding to quickly complete it for a seasonal goal. Continuing the journey, I finally activated a teepee tower I've missed. Finding another puzzle crate location, I shoot down the balloons and loot the crates, and as we arrive at Wishland West, we begin the settlement exploration. As we explore, we find the rift anchor and some weird batteries needed for the mailbox. Finding the Gazaccio, we talk to it before capturing it, adding it to our collection. After searching a bit, we find the rest of the batteries and insert them into the mailbox, giving us access to its loot. Back at home, I begin setting up a farm to grow polar peppers, ice melons, and mint. all used for the all-weather stew. One of the best weather effect fighting drinks in the game. Day 74, not much happened. I executed an enemy while exploring, granting Grav permission in my base so he can set up my irrigation system, but ultimately we just needed acid, so I decided to head over to Grav's base to do some production defenses as they spawn a bunch of enemies that drop that sweet, sweet acid. Arriving at the first production facility, I gathered some wood to be used for defenses, and finding the space turner deviation in one of the securement units.
Who is this person?
A space turner deviation.
Ow! Bastard.
Ha! He died to an umbrella. Do 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 do. Are you coming, son?
I am, Dad. Just having a drink of water.
Oh, Papa.
I'll wait for Grav to get inside before beginning the fortification phase of the production defense. Adding defensive structures, we defend the production and collect the resources.
I see there's another purification thing west of us.
On my way.
I have upgraded my car, so I don't know if you want to get a lift with me.
Oh, hell yeah, baby. Take me to where you want to go.
And as I spawn my newly upgraded vehicle, we begin driving to the next production facility, nearly crashing straight into the lava river.
Now's not the time to...
What can I say? It's a tiny little bridge.
And arriving at the next production area, we begin clearing the enemies for acid.
I mean, these things are worth killing for the acid alone.
Yeah.
Behind
Who
you!
else was shooting?
Yeah, there's a Rosetta here. They're fighting these guys. No, I don't think there's a Rosetta. I think this is vultures. Yeah, it's vultures. Oh, you could also harvest some sunny ginger around here. We do need that for some of the foods we wanted to craft.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, there are so many of them. Holy shit.
Yes.
That was more than I was expecting for a place like this.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like they're hard, but like, it's just like there's a lot. Oh, there's mint here too. Nice. We need all of this in order to make some good food.
Like, I'm not going to survive much longer.
Yeah, come to me, come to me. It's 10 here by me.
As we begin the production, Grav overheats and dies.
Do you have your Chaosium lantern active?
Yeah. No, that didn't help.
Oh, rest in peace.
Bye-bye.
You should be able to get here fairly quickly. You can teleport to Oblivion.
Holy, that's a lot of shit I've lost. Okay.
Okay, well, the defense is about to start. So we'll see how I do, I guess.
You might have to just solo that one.
Doing this production solo is rough.
There are so many things that these things are gonna break through before I'm able to kill them.
I died. Oh my god, that's 78 acid I've lost. Yes, again. I may or may not have ramped into lava.
Oh no. Okay, now I've suddenly shot up to 40 degrees Celsius. And oh my god, that is a massive enemy. I don't think I'm making this. I think it's just going to... It's just going to destroy it before I can kill them. Yeah, it's down to 100 health already. Let's just kill it. Purification failed.
Failing it, I still managed to kill the elite enemy.
Did you just die again?
Yes.
For the third time?
Yes.
Are you okay, dude?
Am I losing my shit? Yes.
I got a deviation. I got the party monkey.
And Grav is having a rough time as I get a party monkey even though I failed the production. You know what? I'll take that as a win. Collecting Grav's dropped items, I head over to a system, reclaiming the others. Now I've gotten contaminated plants. No idea what they're for. And Grav decides to move base locations into the polluted area.
This area I'm in is actually quite nice. I might move my base here.
Oh, nice. You already moved your place. Oh, but now you lost your rock feature.
Oh, good.
And looking at Grav's farm, I noticed exactly what the grow shroom does to make the crops grow faster. Have you ever watched this mushroom to see what it actually does to the crops?
No.
He rubs his butt on them. He's like... Or maybe he's like burrowed into it, but it looks like he's sitting rubbing his ass on the crops, trying to grow it. Back at my base, I began setting up a small farm in the dungeon to grow contaminated crops. Upstairs, I began to set up my own farm. Running out of gravel, I go and gather more before completing my farm. Once my farm is set up, I planted my mint seeds. So the only thing left for me is ice melon. And missing only ice melons, everything else is set up to consistently make all-weather stew. Continuing to set up and reorganize my farming area, I take a moment to customize my weapon, adding a bunch of stickers to it. Oh, it looks cool, I guess. And at my request, Grav comes over and places a bunch of irrigation systems down, allowing me to set them up in my farm. Once I run power to upstairs, my farm is finally set up. Grav builds me a new large osmosis filter, which I instantly fill to start the purification process, connecting my water filter to the irrigation system. I'm ecstatic to not have to worry about food any longer. Alright, I've got crop production going. That only took fucking ages.
Woo woo.
And as we head to the Tundra Monolith area to search for polar peppers. I have mint, I have spike tomatoes, I will soon freeze to death. I quickly teleport home to avoid dying to our worst enemy, cold. I got to the camp igloo where I buy some mod crates from Severin, and these will come in handy later, and I then go around and talk to Hot Dog and Masley before driving back up the mountain, checking when the weather drops. I meet up with Grav, we deliver some much needed hetium before we continue to head towards the polar pepper location, and well, I died to hypothermia again as Grav also begins to die. Oh, that's a lot of stuff that I dropped.
Oh, I'm dying. Why am I dying?
The cold really isn't our friend. Driving back to where we died, I ran out of fuel directly next to the Chaos Weaver. Oh, that's why we could... okay, I've run out of fuel right next to the Chaos Weaver. Shit. I refueled and made my escape as quick as possible. Get the fuck out of here! And approaching the tunnel, I expertly swap seats to kill an enemy, completing another seasonal goal. I finally reach my death bag, collecting it before returning to the polar pepper farm. Oh nice, I got 2 polar pepper seeds. And 2 seeds are enough for now. I return home quickly to plant them, escaping the cold. Grav was talking to Nissa, scouring the weird jelly-headed shop's inventory while I craft our first batch of all-weather stew. Yum. I collect a whole lot of fish from a Hajnaut securement unit before heading upstairs to the kitchen. Cool, I'm cooking up a bunch of spicy grilled fish, minty tartar, spicy grilled fish and more minty tartar, and even more spicy grilled fish and minty tartar. Cooking up some delicious meals for us.
I'm gonna die. Oh my god.
Grav dies off on his exploration. Being the good friend I am, I go and help him. What we... Cool, but I don't even know where we would go. Oh.
I don't even think we'd make it close enough. Okay.
Listen, it's a tight fit,
Burning
okay?
alive.
I will get you home. Don't you worry, son.
Whether I'm alive or not is not guaranteed. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Did you die?
Did you die? What are these oil things? Can't we do shit with them? For crude oil?
I got no idea. We had one earlier. Like, I was checking it out fairly early on and I couldn't do anything. Okay, it is so many rocks here. What the fuck?
Oh. I burned up real good there.
Don't worry. I'm getting you home, son. I've got you here. To your polluted area. Whee! Driving him back to his dead bodies, hitting a boulder in my coupe, we get launched into the lava river, killing us instantly. Oh shit! Oh shit!
Really? Really, Nat? You gonna...
I didn't know there was lava there.
Oh my god, oh my chaos here. Okay, I can start respawn at home.
So about that but did you die question. Ignore that question. Oh, I lost so much stuff. Can I get it back? How'd you get it back last time?
You just stand on the edge, yeah.
Didn't expect that. So I tried to go get my things, dying again to the stupid lava.
Okay, try again. You might be able to get on your car.
I'm dying to sick. I blacked out again. I wasn't even able to use an adrenaline. I drive back to get my things again and get launched into the river again. Oh, I almost landed in the lava again.
You die again?
No.
I'll take that as a yes.
Listen, you live in a very hazardous zone for cars. Finally, recovering all of my death bags, I head home. Tired of being near lava, I collect the gifted death bag from Grav at my front door. Pretty cool feature that allows teammates to send your dropped loot to your base. I tinker with my new mods, upgrading and replacing them, setting up my weapon and gear, before heading back to Severin to purchase more mod crates. And in the morning, Grav and I chose to meet up at Blazewind to begin heading to the Ember Dust Monolith. I give Grav the food I brought for him to be able to survive this harsh weather. Driving up the hill, we spot it. There's the monolith.
Whoop whoop.
The monolith looms ahead. Reaching the bridge, we get out and clear the surrounding enemies, beginning the settlement exploration, as we've done countless times before. Heading out from the entrance, we continue on, but not before I quickly grab an ice melon on the side of the road. Hey, they're a commodity that we can't afford to pass up. And continuing exploring, we loot the mystical crate, completing another settlement exploration. Activating the TP tower before we continue on to the monolith rift beacon, the Forsaken Giant. Hi. It's a talent show. Okay. Oh, there's two of them. Oh wait, no, there's a lot of them. I have a feeling it's just gonna get squashed by this giant thing. And that'll be the boss.
This is so weird. This is like root fantasy.
Yeah. Oh. That's the giant. Oh. Holy shit, that thing is big. As the deviants conclude their interpretive dance routine, the fight begins. Grav, what have you gotten us into?
Very interesting.
Ow!
Okay, well. Oh my word. How the
Ouch.
heck? We're missing something.
Make sure you shoot the flowers, that's how it takes most damage. Okay. This thing is so cool. Oh, careful of the acid on the floor. It hurts a lot.
Okay.
Oh, it's gonna do the slam again.
How do you dodge the slam?
I don't know. Okay. It's doing its teardrops again. We got some flying enemies we need to take out. Okay, where are the flowers? Oh, the light chooses me! No! No! What is it doing? Oh! The left starts showing cracks. Okay, shoot the left, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the light chooses me again! Protect me,
Oh, you are
Spark!
popular.
Grab, please! I don't want to die!
Ow!
The center starts showing cracks. Why is the light after me the whole time? Come here.
Great
You can have
question.
it.
Leave me alone.
Get him, Mr. Wish. Grant us a wish of... Ah. The right starts showing cracks, okay. Just let us shoot you for a second. Okay, we can shoot the rat. Okay, never mind. Back to the hand.
To its hand.
And let's try to do as much damage as we possibly can do, I guess. I don't know. Are we meant to just, like,
I missed
face
that.
tank
Like, I
this?
dodged that.
Maybe we need to just like get to the other side. Oh, that's a lot of stuff. Warning attacks from the giant will sabotage the environment. Okay. I got no clue what's going on.
Look, we are just... No, please, leave me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It wasn't me. I swear,
Show
it wasn't
him
me.
the light.
It was my look-alike friend. Please.
Show him the light.
It wasn't me. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was just trying to help.
Why do you... No, why me? Grab,
Thank you so much for
save me.
listening to me.
Save me, Grab.
I don't know how to... Leave me alone!
He panics. As the boss breaks the platform we're standing on, we failed. Realizing in that moment, it was telling us the health of the platforms we're standing on. I just realized!
It was not him that was cracking, was it?
It was the
was the
floor.
stage sort of
The
area.
stage. Oh no! We gotta be... Okay.
Oh boy.
Round 2, baby! That's actually a really cool mechanic, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I don't like that.
Run! He's attacking!
No!
Ouchie. It hurts.
This man.
He's spitting. Oh, that hurts. Oh shit, he's gonna swipe again.
Ah!
Ah, I dodged it.
Okay, so then
Okay.
I'll play this side with you.
Yeah. Warning attacks from the giant will sabotage the environment. Yeah, we figured that out the hard way. Oh, we got ghosty boys in the sky we have to take out.
I don't do enough damage.
I mean, he's pretty spooky. No! I don't... Why me? Fine. I actually don't even know what the light does. Oh! Ouch. The right starts showing cracks. Okay. Maybe the right choosing what platform he attacks?
Yeah.
Oh,
Right is
okay.
right. So that side you're on is going to collapse, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna just collapse the right side and then we fight.
Just don't die when he does it again.
Yeah. Oh, did you die? Did you fall in as well last time?
Yeah. So if you're on that area when it breaks, you're dead.
Yeah. There you go. It's gone. The right has been destroyed. Oh shit. Run to the very corner. Run to that corner. Oh. Okay, we never took the damage. I'd say we collapse the left next.
Yeah, we can. Actually, I think we do the middle. Because if he does his swap again, we've got a chance.
I mean, sure. Focus the head. Okay, so we focus in the middle.
We can, yeah. What do you want to do?
I'll do the middle. I'll do middle. I'll do middle. Get out of the middle. Get to the left. Let's go attack you. There we go. Okay. Let's go slam me again. I feel like we're running out of time because he's going to destroy all the platforms.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
The left corrects.
Okay, I clearly wasn't in the correct section then, I guess, when it ended. That's fine, I'll be more in it and then jump over. There we go. The center's about to collapse.
We can do this. I think we could just get this.
You know what we maybe should have done is spread it out more so we had the whole thing.
Yeah.
Rather than collapsing one. Okay. Oh! Oh! He grabbed me! No! Leave me alone! It's okay. That's not fair. Oh shit.
I'm gonna have to tank this one.
Oh, that almost like slid me off. Okay, that's dangerous. It's so low.
What the hell is this?
Death. Oh. It's Paladin Party. You just gotta dodge the laser beams. That's a lot of laser beams though. Oh, that. We dodge the boss's attacks, firing relentlessly until finally it goes down. All in a day's work. Oh! He's still attacking! Stop! We collect the spoils of our actions in Nutcracker Deviation. Disappointing, and reviewing the boss fight stats, we end the day tired and bruised but determined. Let's leave the dungeon. Nah, you were pretty close. You did 286, I did 311. It's not bad. Like,
Buttons used.
Another day, another task that needed to be completed around the base. I harvested the first batch of crops from my farm before I head over to Wishland. Okay, I'm going to Wishland because I want to get myself a grow shroom myself anyway. Searching for the mushroom patch that could give me my own grow shroom deviation. Searching around Wishland, I collect the batteries and fill the mailbox, collecting the loot before moving on to Wishland West. Once there, I continue my search for the grow shroom mushroom patch, but dispatching the pesky claw machine, and he used to be scary. After a short search, I take a ride on the roller coaster, still searching for this elusive mushroom patch. Finally, getting to use the lamp from my Gazaccio, I clear a shadow tentacle that is blocking my path, finding a gear crate where I loot a second samurai. Searching around, I find and loot the mystical crate, completing this area's settlement exploration. Mushrooms! The corrupted bear.
Ooh.
I finally found the mushrooms. I'm gonna be sad if I don't get the grow shroom on the first try. After how long is it taking me to get ya? And harvesting the mushrooms that took me so long to find. For the record, I did not get it on the first try.
Oh, that's not good.
I decided to wait around a bit, hoping the mushrooms would respawn quickly, allowing me another attempt at getting my very own grow shroom. And the stupid bear respawns before the mushrooms? Why? I wanted the mushrooms. Mushrooms.
No.
Don't you like leave the area and come back?
Oh, Nat, add me to your party, please.
Losing my mind waiting for these mushrooms to respawn, Grav requests permission to access my storages. Why can you not go into my base if you're not in this party?
I can't access your things. Give loot.
You should have access. I've got it
I
enabled.
do now.
I give him the permissions, and the rascal wants to steal my stash of special plastics.
Maybe I have, Oh, you've got so much special plastic.
Don't.
I'm just taking 5.
Okay. Calm down, boy. Leave my special plastic alone. That shit's rare. He left me some ice melons and takes a few plastics for himself, and the mushrooms are taking too long to grow, so I teleport back to my base where I create a bunch of improved fertilizer for my crops. Well, the benefit of collecting all those mushrooms is I can now make a ton of the yield boost fertilizer. And planting the ice melon seeds with the newly crafted yield boosting fertilizer, we're gonna be swimming in melons to make that all-weather stew. Overnight, Grav had made a new pistol he was testing out.
Nat, you wanna know something really sad?
Yeah.
My pistol is almost the same DPS as my assault rifle. It's only got 5 bullets and I haven't even calibrated it yet. That is so sad.
Well, we decided to head over to Silo Psi. Tackling it on hard mode will give us a chance of collecting the Dr. Teddy deviation, one that we are missing from our collection. Now this was to be our first hard mode dungeon, and oh boy, were we not prepared. Running through the dungeon, taking out enemies, we encounter an old enemy with much more power. There's a Scorcher. Regen the Scorcher. We fired bullet after bullet until it hit its regen phase. Grav panics as we fought the Scorcher.
Yeah, fuck that. I need my normal gun.
Oh my god, this guy's healing so quickly.
Burn!
His name is the Scorcher. Do you really think burn is the right option?
No, probably not.
Oh!
Ooh!
Oh, he's immune. He's split.
It's like headless chicken guy. Oh! Oi! I'm dead.
Burn,
I'm not dead.
baby, burn.
I am so close to I'm down. I'm not down. I'm panicking. Everything's fine.
Unable to deal enough damage to kill it, we fail. Now, the reason we failed is this was our first super anomaly. So quickly researching how to deal with the regen mechanic, we head back to our bases as we needed to try something new. So I finally learned and placed my own wish machine, buying the DE50 Wildfire Blueprint. Having a mod that prevents the regen mechanic, this pistol will help clearing the silo. Attempting to teleport back to the silo, I'm informed by the game that I'd run out of energy link. It looks like I'm driving. Driving under the bus, I get flung by its leg. Thanks, buddy. I'm on my way. I'm on my way to get to the silo. Hey, when you're driving alone, you gotta entertain yourself, right? We return to Silo Psi at the start of day 84, determined to finish it on hard mode this go around, entering the dungeon. All goes well until we get to the Scorcher again. This pistol does damage.
Reload.
Oh shit.
Ow.
Why did this thing spawn at level 50 instead of level 1 like the previous things? Ah!
I do no damage. Stop wall hacking. God, it takes so long to regen this gun.
Oh my god, will this guy just stand still and die? This guy won't fucking die.
We sort of get there.
Okay, are you switching to your other gun?
Yeah, I have already. Can't you see the explosions going off?
Oh, okay.
You just need to pump as much damage as you can, because I do think my frost things are stopping him from healing a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I've been having to switch to my pistol when he goes into the regen stage. Otherwise, I'll just deal no damage.
Can't get up there. Fuck. Oh, that's a lot of damage. We're so close, we're so close.
Finally, we take down the Scorcher. As Grav goes down, taking the Scorcher with him, searching through the dungeon, we acquire another missing deviation, Dr. Teddy. He'll prove to be a major help in upcoming events. Progressing through the dungeon, I capture another Fetch-a-Lot bunny on the second attempt. Failed to secure with a 77%? That's a first. There we go. And looting a random gear crate, I express relief as I gather just enough energy link to fast travel home. Oh yes, like 500 energy link. Great, I'll be able to travel home. Proceeding through the dungeon, we make our way to fight the fridge again, hunkering down in the hallway like we did the first time. The fact we can't see his health bar makes me think this is going to be really difficult.
Yeah. Oh, these guys are so tanky.
Oh, there we go. I got his health bar to show up. Just walk forwards and I'll show up.
Got it. I don't want to say it just yet, but this boss is easier than the regen, dude.
Shut up.
We are also cheesing this really hard.
We managed to kill the boss without breaking as much of a sweat as the Scorcher. How is the regen dude so much harder? Oh. I got a duplicate of my gun. They dropped me a tier 5 Soccer the Last Valor. Grav displays his brand new melee weapon, a literal stop sign. It's time to stop!
How much damage does this thing do?
After Grav has his fun playing with his new stop sign, we exit the dungeon. As next destination, Whalebone, in search of morphic crates for yet another deviation, the gingerbread house. During the journey to Whalebone, I come across the marked location for morphic crates board and noticing my backpack going crazy. I proceeded to search the area, finding and killing my first morphic crate of the hunt. Grav meets up with me and I explain to him how to find the crate. As we drive to our next crate location, I drove off the cliff, abandoning Grav inside as the coupe plummeted down to its death, safely gliding above with the help of V.
Wow! I looked away for half a second. And flying down a...
Worked out. It's another morphic crate somewhere over here by me. After having a friendly laugh, we found the second morphic crate and killing and looting it, but still no gingerbread house. I find Masley nearby, talking her to continue a quest I'd picked up so long ago I'd forgotten about it. And continuing on to our third marked location for the morphic crates, I come across a lonely hydronaut fish. Talking to it, V pops up, directing me to catch a fish for our fish tank to help settle the little guy in. Maybe later. Right now I'm busy hunting for this gingerbread house. Let's go. Approaching our third morphic crate, we kill and loot it, and to our surprise actually acquiring the blasted gingerbread house. Check. Another deviation off the list. Next up, we wanted the lethal rabbit. Let's just say this deviation will prove to be a pain to try and get, as it's RNG on two fronts. First, we have to find rabbits. Second, there's a chance that the deviation only drops upon harvesting the rabbit. So we made the decision that it is officially rabbit season. From this point on, if we see a rabbit, we have to kill it for that chance to get a deviation. Hunting rabbits for the majority of a day and finding barely any causes us to change tactics. So continuing on a hunt to collect every possible deviation in Way of Winter, we set our sights back to Fisker Harbor, pausing, focusing solely on rabbits and making the decision to go after another missing deviation, Rain Man. The drive to Fisker Harbor is full of bumps and rocks and nodes, and even a stop sign gets in my way. But nothing will stop me from channeling my inner Pokemon trainer. I must catch them all. I like how I can drive straight through, like, tough ore nodes, rocks and everything. But the second I tried to drive through a stop sign, the car's just like, no. I arrive at Fisker Harbor and proceed to run through the basic enemies, focusing on getting to the elite Rainmaker, as killing it has a chance to drop the deviation we're looking for. Killing it with ease, as we are vastly over-leveled for this area. We're disappointed that we don't get the deviation drop, deciding to wait around for the Rainmaker to respawn. I summon my coupe and have a bit of fun. It has so much power. Driving into a solid wall lifts up the back end. So after waiting a short time, we took out the Rainmaker again, and it still fails to drop us the deviation we wanted. So we made the decision to leave it for now, returning every so often to try and obtain the deviation, and driving away from Fisker Harbor and towards the securement silo. I explained to Grav what deviations we are missing and how to acquire them. So we need to kill rabbits, we need to kill the rainfall enemy, we need to do securement silos, and we get to have a chance to get the other one from the bosses.
So what you're saying is we need to go do a securement silo.
Oh, we're right here. And arriving at the silo, I quickly head back to base to restock on food since I lost a food buff, and without it, I would probably freeze within the silo. Scanning the map to look for a different silo to run, I noticed that a fishing surge event was going on. Noting that we didn't yet have the electric eel deviation, we decide, let's go fishing instead. So we spend the entirety of the day fishing, catching the deviation on my second cast, and after buying the advanced fishing rod, Grav returns home to craft us a couple while I continue to fish. Cichlids, bigger than a dog, a largemouth black bass, a pure white black bass, and of course another deviation. A good, relaxing day of fishing as the event comes to a close, but not before I reeled in a third electric eel deviation. Returning home, I take care of my inventory while Grav tries to go back and buy more bait.
Ah!
What?
I can't do the fishing. I can't buy shit.
What do you mean?
I wanted to buy some bait,
Yeah?
and it's gone. The whole fishing place is overrun. That is the Chaos Weaver. I'm screwed. Don't look at me, please. Please.
Grav tells me to come to him to complete a different type of puzzle, a dragon doll puzzle that requires a combat deviation. So happily, I summon the one and only Mr. Wish. Collecting my loot, we head over to the nearby party event, Paradise Lost. Shutting down the signal tower, a siren spawned, scaring me briefly before it falls to the might of our upgraded weapons. Teleporting to another public event lands us in a swamp, where we have to destroy the Black Heart enemy. Easy enough. So we begin shooting the main enemy, dodging attacks and kicking ass. We destroy the Black Heart, making the event up to level legendary. I wonder what that means. A glutton spawns from the ashes of the Black Heart. Not our first encounter, so we take it down. The public crosses event victory, the dark side. Look at us go! I don't know what that did! But we did
ancient
something.
helmet. What is that?
Oh shit, we got 22,000 energy link.
Oh my god.
No longer worried about running out of energy link. Since we just got so much from completing these public events, we decide to head to the newly popped up fishing event to purchase bait, proceeding to the lava river. I use my newly purchased bait to fish, catching a flame essence deviation on my first cast, completing my season goal hours after. Grav arrives and fishes in the lava for a bit, catching a guppy before deciding to see what fish are in this lava river. Day 89 begins with a small batch of food crafting using the fish I caught to craft various recipes. Just busy making some canned lunch meat. And don't worry, I'll bring you food. I will feed you, my child.
Thank you, Papa.
Collecting ice cubes from my fridges, I noticed that their stat increase is Sanity. I mean, I'll be honest, if I saw someone sitting eating ice cubes, I wouldn't necessarily have classified them as sane. And once I finish clearing my inventory, refilling myself with a decent meal and some tasty drink, we head out to complete yet another public event, Fatal Signal. This time we have to activate the signal station. Easy enough, I begin clearing the enemies around, waiting for the activation progress bar to fill. Completing this task, an optional one appears. Adjust radar position to increase signal strength. Alright, that seems easy enough, and I begin to adjust the orientation of the radar, getting shot at from every direction. Shoot them!
What do you mean?
Shoot the bad guys!
What do you think I'm doing?
And once the tower is oriented properly, I begin searching for clues dropped by enemies. Once collected, we type in the passcode, causing the Rosetta mechanic to spawn. Killing it, we complete yet another public event with a legend rating. Sweet, more energy links. Driving off, we're happy with our day's events. Hitch a ride. We continued our search for more deviations, even searching the top of a mountain for one. Finding nothing but an empty ruinous castle, I decided to jump from the mountaintop, gliding with V to the lake just northeast of the Tundra Monolith. There, a possible location for Hale's Moving House. A place where we could find a deviation we do not currently own, the Disco Ball. Approaching where the house should be, I find nothing there. So not giving up yet, I begin driving to another possible location where this house could be. Crashing and driving off a cliff, I leapt from my car, holding on for dear life to V as we glide to safety. Landing on the bridge, I recall my car and resume driving towards the house's secondary location. Arriving at the predetermined spot, I find it, an ordinary looking house with a mysterious puzzle that Grav and I have to complete.
Attack the creepy arms. Crush the mural and find the hidden shards within.
Quickly completing the house's puzzle, we are rewarded with another new deviation. Disco Ball. After capturing it, I spawn my car to begin driving when Grav pipes up.
So I say we just go do that one, just like speedrun it at the minimum difficulty.
So your car's on fire.
That's just the paint. It's a new design.
That's a really cool paint.
Thanks. It keeps us warm too.
We laughed a bit as our journey for the day comes to an end. A beautiful start to the day. I first tend to my basement garden where I am growing some deviated plants. Once properly tended to, I take off to explore, deciding to check out this deactivated rift anchor I saw on my map. Getting in my car, start the engine and begin driving towards the Serpentale's camp. Arriving after a short drive, I began to clear the enemies. Dodging the shield bearer, I proceed to activate the rift anchor before completely wiping out the vulture's forces. Leaving via a zipline, I return home, crafting some fertilizer for my plants, and a new melee weapon. Using one of the pike I caught, and once satisfied with stuff at base, I decided I needed more resources. Off to a production facility. Arriving at the nearby production facility, I begin bolstering my defenses. And completing the production defense mission, I collect my spoils. Continuing on my way, thus the journey leads me to Silo Delta, but not before stopping and killing a bunny on the chance it drops the lethal rabbit deviation. No such luck, so arriving at Silo Delta, I equip my pistol and I begin to cosplay John Wick and take out everyone within. If only I had a pencil. Capturing another butterfly's emissary before heading to the final boss. Upon killing the dungeon boss, I collect the treasure chest. No way, I actually got the voodoo doll deviation. Nice, we can cross that one off the list. Driving back home, I begin to poke the bear and attack the nearby Chaos Weaver. Who knows, one of these days I might do actual damage to it. So after wasting time and ammo, I retreat. Noting that not even 1% of its health had dropped, and we're gonna need some really heavy duty weapons to take one of these down. On my way home, I stop and decide to complete another purification defense mission, all in the hopes that I could get the Shattered Maiden deviation. And as I collect my loot, I don't see a deviation drop. No deviation, sad days. I did like 2. I just did the low level ones, which I can just solo. Along my exploration on the morning of day 93, I meet up with Grav, and unknown to him, he was taking damage to something neither of us could see. We're actually so close to you're dying.
To what? What about I do?
Hypothermia?
No, I was -5.
Did you die?
I did.
And once Grav respawns and recovers his dropped loot, we make our way back to Fisker Harbor, taking on the Rainfall Elite enemy once again, and hoping a Rainman deviation would drop for either of us. Unfortunately, we were not rewarded with the drop. Leaving Fisker Harbor, we journey to a nearby workshop to begin farming for the Shattered Maiden deviation. Oh, bunnies, where are you? Bunny, 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 bunny.
That's a nice remix.
Bunny. And we approach the Barkey Farmstead workshop quickly, starting the production defense in hopes to get a Shattered Maiden drop. Fortifying the device and protecting it from the various waves of enemies, we are yet again disappointed at the lack of deviation acquisition. So we then decide to continue the main story missions, giving the deviation grind a break for the meantime. I take the trip back to base to craft and gather some food for Gravenar before heading over to Grav's base, planting peppercorn he requested in his planters and delivering him some all-weather stew. Taking a second, I did show Grav my newly crafted melee weapon, the pike,
Let my cat see that.
as I pull it out in front of his dimensional cat deviation. And Grav and I drive through the terrain when Grav mentions,
Very nervous with you and lava.
Why? What happened?
oh shit, oh shit.
Really? Really, Nat? You gonna...
As we stop to collect another teleportation tower, arriving at the mission waypoint, we find Roland and proceed with a decapitation strike mission. Pushing up the mountain, we clear out whatever enemies stand in our way, stopping to collect the scenic viewpoint for Fire Throat Fortress, before continuing on. Noticing the batteries again, we search for them as I mistakenly activate an electrocuting landmine while attempting to gather another battery. Foolish me, I should probably open my eyes. And after collecting all the batteries, we head over to the mailbox, charging it before accepting the loot within, proceeding to find and activate the rift anchor nearby.
Stab me, Mr. Teddy, stab me.
My Dr. Teddy is already starting to prove its usefulness as it heals me up. Driving up the hill behind Grav and his motorbike, my coupe has too much power and I quickly rammed into him. At the top of the hill, we find a sanctuary type room filled with vultures and another of Igna's messenger enemies.
Hi guys. Praise Jesus. Praise Chaosium. Right?
And quickly dispatching these enemies, we find a mystical crate, which of course we had to loot, and jokingly I spawned my coupe at the start of the bridge, thinking it would be wide enough to block Grav from being able to cross on his motorbike. Unfortunately, he drove right past my makeshift bridge block. Further exploring the area, we find a gear crate, inside of which Grav got himself a pair of Mayfly goggles, a piece of gear he needed to complete his build. Good for him. We continue onward, making it to the elevator, proceeding to follow the mission waypoint, where we find and activate the Fire Throat Teepee Tower. After taking out a few enemies...
Oh, I also made myself some tungsten bullets.
Oh, so did I.
Oh, nice. Although I'm currently using steel just because, you know, don't have an overabundance yet. I've only got like 8,000 tungsten bullets.
It's more than I have.
Oh, never mind. It automatically put me on tungsten bullets. Never mind. Okay, I've been using it. Oh well.
Equipped to Grav quickly before moving forward. Moving deeper into the fortress, I locate a weapon crate. Attempting to loot it, I quickly go down as the surrounding area got covered in a noxious gas. Though disregarding that weapon crate, we moved on to the elevator. Riding it up to the next area, I quickly headed home to repair my gear, and while Grav waits for me to return where I collect the fortress scenic viewpoint. Grav and I find and loot a hidden mystical crate, giving me another statue formula, the Mark II version. Great, another gaseous area. We quickly traverse through the gas, making our way to another loot crate. This time I looted without going down to the gas.
Thanks, bud. Appreciate the stab.
As I got healed by Dr. Teddy, we make our way through the gas maze puzzle, finding Igna.
So it's you, the Mayfly.
Yeah, that's right, Igna.
But there's no need for us to stay enemies.
No, we can stay enemies. That's fine.
After all, you and I have both been chosen by the Great Ones. As such, we have a duty to remake this world with their help. The two of us will have a special place in that new order when it comes. And it will come. And now we have the leader of the call. I've been wanting to meet you for a long time. Well, that makes two of us. Probably the only thing we have in common. No, I can think of something else. You've been blessed with the touch of chaos. What? Yes, the Chaosium injected into your arm. Your body's reaction. Rosetta sent me report.
Roland acting like he's got no idea about his arm.
Your little plan to get out without purpose? Well, I'll just say it was a desperate move. But I still respect you. Much as I respect our Mayfly friend.
Igna, you talk too much. Can I shoot you already?
Here are superior. We've all been blessed by Chaosium, by Stardust. We shouldn't be struggling against each other. We should be working together. Why should either of you keep fighting against already been ordained? Like those are waiting for themselves. This whole world will be transformed. You should take the opportunity to join me while you still can. Because soon enough, this filthy land will be burned
I'm waiting for the Chaos Weaver to start moving.
Bullshit! You think I'd join you? You think I've been blessed by Chaosium? You're as crazy as everyone says. You want to see my blessing? Then come over here. I'll give you a close-up view of my Chaosium-infused fist. But you're too cowardly for that, aren't you?
Yeah, you tell him, Roland.
I'm proud of that. Maybe you think that makes me inferior. I don't care. I'm not like you. I'll never bow down before the Great Ones, or Stardust, or Chaosium. And I'd never make my people bow before me either.
He was insane. The Chaosium had truly gone to his head, and he thought Roland or I would ever join him?
I gave you a chance.
Before we could take him out though, he fell back, falling right into a fire Chaos Weave as it burst to life, flying off to begin plunging the world into fire and brimstone. We had failed to stop Igna. We had a chat to Roland after Igna had gone, helping him to his feet, and he said we had to stop the Chaos Weaver, else Igna was going to use it to kill everyone in the north. So while waiting, we deliberated on what to do next, and as Grav is looking through his menus, I decided to have a bit of fun as I pushed him into the volcano, killing him. Whoopsies!
Ta-da-da!
So gifting his drop bag so it returns to his base, I follow and meet up with him, deciding it was time to go take on a Chaos Weaver. We part ways as Grav searches the tundra while I drive around Emberstrand. And continuing searching for the elusive Chaos Weavers. Oh, Chaos Weaver, where are you? We want to fight you. So driving around for a while, I decide to change the tactics and go to the complete dark side public event again. Finishing the event with a legend status, solo, I'm feeling good about my build. Continuing driving around Emberstrand, we tap to the server to see if anyone has seen a Fire Chaos Weaver. Anyone seen any Fire Chaos Weavers? And ending my solo search for the Fire Chaos Weaver, I joined Grav in searching for the ice version, as they seem to be more common if I remember correctly. As I drive behind the spider bus, I swap seats and shoot its leg, forcing it to come to a stop, allowing us to loot its crate. And after we looted the spider bus, Grav takes off, but I quickly catch up with my maxed out coupe. On your left.
Oh, that's my beyond.
And only a short drive later, I finally found the blasted Chaos Weaver. It's like up the mountain here. Come on, turn snowy. Yeah, he's here. Hello, big boy. It's time to take you out. And once Grav catches up, we begin fighting the monstrosity.
I don't think we can do this, to be honest.
I mean, it's not killing us.
I don't think 5,000 bullets is going to be enough.
But look how low we've got at its health.
Is it regenning?
Fighting the Chaos Weaver, we do no damage. Even though we are max level with max upgraded gear and armor, this thing is tough. The deviants it spawns are tough too. So after fighting it for a few minutes, we decide that there is no way we can fight this thing alone. Retreating, we needed reinforcements. We need you, the viewer, to come join the fight against the Chaos Weavers. So by downloading the game using my link in the description, you can even get some free goodies when you use gift code NaturalCauzes. And back at home, I saw my resource problems had changed.
When you've got 690 acid.
Nice.
Tungsten ain't that bad.
Oh, I'm out of tungsten ore.
How have you done 4,000 tungsten ore?
Hey now, I use a yeah. Exactly. Clearing my inventory, I grabbed a spatial keystone, an item that can teleport teammates to a location if they accept. Unfortunately, Grav doesn't want to use it right now, so once Grav is done using whatever it is he's doing, he accepts the teleport with the spatial keystone and we begin playing a bit of prop hunt hide and seek. Grav is a terrible seeker, so transformed as a gravestone, I get untransformed right behind him, quickly transforming this time as a storage container. I find a new hiding spot and Grav walks right by me as I turn off my flashlight. How observant is he? That is a question. Okay, do you give up?
No.
As Grav continues searching for me, I sneak behind him, revealing myself and demonstrates how I transform, this time into a chair.
What the heck is that?
I am now a chair.
I didn't know we were playing prop hunt.
Yep. So when I started, I was a gravestone. Like, it made me into a gravestone, and then I changed midway through to become the little chest, and I'd been following you around. Okay, let's go. To Zone of Haze! Yay!
My man.
Yes.
Whoa.
Hi.
I need to pick up everything that was being cooked at my base.
Oh. Okay. And our journey has led us back to the entrance of the Zone of Haze dungeon. Only this time, we are more well prepared. As I wait for Grav, I clear the entrance of Rosetta Guards, and this time, instead of going in just Grav and I sent out a recruitment notice and 2 players accepted. Angie 777 and Jordan TC. Together we enter the final dungeon, and along with our newly recruited teammates, we clear the puzzle at the entrance and easily make it to the Order Keeper, taking it down with ease. Capturing another Gazaccio, we continue pressing on, and after following our teammates, we make it to the dungeon's second boss, the Scorcher, another enemy we've taken out before, only this time with the added mechanic of a sigil puzzle. Okay, break the mark to destroy the burning Chamblier's Lambent. Okay, how do we break the mark? Angie knows, clearly. You got this, Angie.
Oops, you don't shoot that thing.
Huh?
No, I don't know what's going on, dude.
So we're killing enemies to get the light marks. Those like floating ball crystals. With those ball crystals, we can then light up those little pillars, so we know in what order to shoot the rings at the top there.
Okay.
Fine, Angie has the battle pass. She's got this. That's why she's got the pirate thing. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted the light ball. Okay, she's got it. Okay, so now we need to look what order, but based on like the number of the pillars. So the first one we got to kill is the hourglass. We don't have the hourglass yet. Oh, it rotates. Second one we have to kill is the square. So that means the third one we have to kill is the moon. And then the final one we have to kill is the sphere. And now we can kill the big guy. So after completing the puzzle, we start to deal heavy damage to the Scorch as Angie goes down. There's so many enemies, holy shit. Oh, Angie's down. I revive them, almost going down in the process myself. I'm a good teammate, quickly using an activator to help myself. It's fine, I managed to raise Angie. I got her up.
No.
Killing the Scorcher, we quickly loot the drops, an Ice Pot Deviation, and MG4, Wrath of Hades. Grav goes down due to the darkness, and like a good team player, I revive him only to go down after the fact. And once we're all revived and healed up, we reach the dungeon's final boss, the Secret Servitor. This was it, the hardest fight in the game. And as the fight begins, we deal as much damage as possible. Oh, there she is. Angie went down again. Good thing my little teddy's
Behind you, behind you.
Oh! Angie's just focusing the boss. We're trying to like just stop everything else from killing us.
Oh, piss off.
I don't think Angie fully knows what they're doing either. I think they know what they're doing, but you know.
Yeah.
I roll out of the way of the boss's minion, the Arbiter, before recovering and killing it. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Oh shit, that's on me, isn't it? Yep. Avoiding the boss's attack, we dump mag after mag into her, dropping her health bit by bit, getting it down to the next stage, another sigil puzzle. Only this time, instead of shooting the sigil, we have to find and destroy the corresponding Shadow Servitor. Easy enough. Angie goes down once again and I rush over to throw Dr. Teddy at her. And once we complete this puzzle, a new mechanic happens, launching us far into the air of the arena. Luckily, I quickly call V to glide safely down. Grav, not so lucky as he goes down.
Yeah, but I downed because I fell.
Yeah, I immediately jumped into my cradle. Not the cradle, I grabbed onto V.
I don't know what's happening.
Stand by the pillars. Do you feel like you're in a fever dream?
I don't know what I'm doing.
Just shoot the boss, that's all you're gonna worry about.
I'm trying.
We continue pumping damage into the servitor as Grav begins to question everything going on. Protected by marks. Oh shit.
Remember your
Oh my god. Immune, okay.
We need to figure out which one's first. First is sphere. Okay, well now where's the sphere that we can shoot? Oh shit. Okay, I'm down. Jordan, help me! Help me! Help me! I go down to the boss's lightning strike attack while trying to figure out the order of the sigils we need to destroy. Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate you, buddy. I appreciate you. Oh, that thing hurts.
Oh, damn it, there's one on me.
Okay, we need to kill that first.
Dying.
Take that. That'll help.
Thank you.
Oh, darkness again. Secret Service is no longer protected by marks. Okay. I'm guessing Angie did it because we were busy with all these other guys. Oh, protected by marks again. It is not moon first. It is. What is that? Square first. And then it is moon, I think. Yeah, it's moon next. And then it is the one that isn't the hourglass. The sphere.
And now hourglass.
There you go.
Okay.
Now she's dead. Now she can be attacked. Oh my god, there's a glutton ratcher.
Where the hell's Angie? Oh god, damn it, Angie.
Are you running for her?
Yeah.
Protected by marks again. Holy shit.
Angie's down again.
And now sphere.
I'm down. Behind you.
Oh shit.
Run if you can. Oh, I'm gonna have to adrenaline.
Yeah, same. This is my first adrenaline, so I'm okay. I'm gonna run to get to them to help them.
I'm running with you. Ow! I was like, Gatling gun on me?
And she's sanity is shot still.
She's given up, looks like.
Yeah, it's Sphere next. Jordan's down. I'm down. She's dead. She's full down. She's AFK. Grabbed. Just leave her.
There's nothing I can do just with the two of us. I might as well try.
Yeah, but I mean, she's AFK anyway. There, she's left the team now. I'll see if I can rescue.
I've got an adrenaline. I need to use it. Jordan's down.
I'm running to him. Oh, he just adrenaline. Oh, that hurts so much. Oh my god, this fight is insane.
I'm so tired. My gun's almost broken. Oh shit, did I not make any?
Did you make any?
I've got one.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my god, we're just trying to get through her shield right now.
Mm-hmm.
And she's protected by marks again. It's brought out Disciple? Oh, come on. That's not fair. Oh, fuck. I'm down. Can you throw your dude at me?
Trying. Did it get you?
Yeah, he res me now.
Regrouping on the ledge near a pedestal, I get hit by an attack as my Dr. Teddy is out.
Oh, that little dude came into the clutch heal.
And the boss spawns a bunch of disciples that knock us down multiple times, forcing us to use our adrenaline shots repeatedly.
I don't see the darkness, man.
No!
Grab
I have
us
no
all
deviation power. No!
I have one
don't
more
want
adrenaline.
this.
I'd like to save it for if I really need it.
I'm dying. I'm
Okay,
dying.
I'm adrenaline in. Oh, this thing doesn't count. This thing's not giving us light. That's why we're dying.
Oh, so it's moved.
It's moved.
Again?
I have no more adrenalines. You need to grab the light orb and throw it at the pillar. It's fine. I'm up. And I managed to light the pillar as well. Jordan, you're pushing me into this damage. Okay. Okay, we've clutched it. We're not down yet. We're not down yet. We're not dead yet, Grab. We can do this.
Oh boy. Okay. It's illusionist. I don't think we can actually. But I am
we
here
can.
to be proven wrong.
I reassure Grav as we continue fighting.
You know what? It's time to switch to the tungsten ammo.
What do you mean? I've been using it the whole time.
I haven't been. Oh,
I'm diving like a soccer player here.
sure.
I swap ammo types
Another
from steel to
disciple, big
tungsten
attack.
and just pump round after round into the servitor. Getting knocked off the ledge from a large attack, I quickly run back up the ramp to rejoin my team.
Okay, I'm running to you guys.
No.
Just fucking getting bounced around.
Finally making our way through the boss's shields, we finally start damaging her.
Yes, we got through its shield. Bullet full of lead. Take it down now.
Oh.
Graham, keep in mind you're recording. What you say can go in the video.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Oh. 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 Oh.
Dodge,
Oh.
dodge, dodge. Dip, dive, and D.
Tanking the disciple laser, I eat and drink before continuing the fight, and I focused on killing the disciples.
You fucking hurt, you disciples.
Oh!
Lightning, dodge the
I'm
lightning.
down.
The boss summons another lightning attack and narrowly avoiding the strikes. Grav isn't as lucky as he goes down. I would just fucking launch the teddy at people to arrest them. Honestly, teddies come in clutch. I'm so glad you switched to the teddy.
It was so good. Okay, we need to just keep an eye out for where the next light orb is if we need it.
And picking up a final light orb, I throw it at the pillar before turning around and killing the boss.
It's done. It's done. We've done it.
Yes! Woo! We fucking did it, Grav! See, we didn't need Angie.
Yo.
Hey, GG. We did it. We defeated the final boss, and our reward, a level 3 tar pudding. We're getting a tar pudding. A tar pudding, nice. As we exit the dungeon, we had a view at our stats. We decompress in the dungeon stat screen before dissolving the team. Jordan... How did Jordan do 55% of all the damage? I don't believe that.
You. Crazy.
Damn,
At least you took the most damage.
Yeah, I was a tank. Most damage taken. But hey,
He did so much damage.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sad it doesn't show how many times you help people with your teddy, because I got a shitload of that.
I think the help provided isn't a thing, right? Doesn't
yeah,
that...
Yeah, you have help provided 6, Jordan help provided 7, and me help provided 3. And Angie. Hey, you did more damage than Angie at least.
Oh, just.
Not just, you did triple her damage. Well, Jordan, thanks for the carry, I guess. I genuinely felt like I was doing decent damage. Clearly not. Clearly I was wrong. To be fair, we brought him up a couple times. Like, he may have done the most damage, but if it wasn't for us, like, making sure to res him, he wouldn't have been dealing damage. I'm just saying.
I hear you.
Sipping
Amen
some
to
massive
that.
amounts of copium right here, but you know. Well, hey, we now need to report back to Masley in Bear's Den. Please tell me you got that mission.
No.
So you just did the Zone of Haze without the mission. So that means you have to do it again.
No.
Come on, it was fun. I quickly head over to Bear's Den to report to Masley on my successful clearing of the entrance to the Zone of Haze. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for watching so far. We managed to beat every boss, complete the entire story, and get to max equipment. But we were not able to catch every deviation. We fell short on 5 due to poor planning and lack of knowledge. So if you want to see us try this again on a different scenario, make sure to leave a like, and I picked this video for you to watch next. It's one I think you'll enjoy.